and he chose park.
Well, you were lucky. For the minutes, I do the minutes.
Okay.
Your name, spelling,
SALIM
I am.
BLUME.
I got it right there.
I was about to say.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right.
We good?
Okay.
Was there somebody that here for public?
No, he
for
wanted cable. So I don't think we have any minutes to review tonight, so,
Why would that be?
because our minute person has a life in Florida.
No, not anymore.
Are you all done with Florida?
So when you sold the house, it wasn't like buying another
Sold
one, or,
everything.
like, where, year-round? In
Uh,
where?
I didn't say that.
Oh, okay. Not in Florida. All right. So tennis courts. So I had down here just a couple things. We normally walk around and see how the winter handled the courts, and we usually schedule a date for setting up the nets. And then I know that in the fall, you had been going
Yep.
back and forth. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so I went up and looked at them today. They look pretty good, actually.
Okay.
I was very pleased. There are a couple of cracks, but nothing major.
Okay.
And last year I'd spoken to Vermont Rec, and they recommended this California crack filler. I emailed them today to find out what the cost is. We can't do it until temps go up.
Right, okay.
But even those little tiny little cracks, they said we should use this.
Okay.
So once I get the costs and how much we're gonna need, probably will go ahead and purchase it, just so as soon as the temps are up, we can,
Right,
I'm happy to try to read he sent me the directions,
okay.
so. So anyways, I do think they look good. You know, they're a little bit of ripple, but I can't tell if it's the frost yet or not. I will say, I'm getting a lot of emails about opening, and Concord has opened theirs. They have full play going on. Warner's opening theirs this weekend. They got full play going, so I think we have to think about opening.
Yeah, I mean, unless there was gonna hurt the courts, I can't imagine why we'd wait.
I was,
If they're clear, I say go ahead and open them.
yeah, so I think in order
I was
to,
up there today, they look like they're clear, I mean.
yeah.
We just need to put the nets up.
So a couple of things that we need to do before we take the locks off. We need to get the phone set up if we're gonna do the padlock. or get-
Yes, so what let's fill Salem in on what that was happening with last year.
So, we resurfaced the courts, about an $18,000 investment. Within a week, we had vandalism, bicycles, skateboards. So we, after, I think, 2 or 3 times of that happening, in talking with the selectmen, they didn't really want to do cameras. Cameras are the ideal. We really wish we could get cameras everywhere, but, so our only option is to put a padlock on the gate and force people to call a phone number to get the code.
Okay.
And then we'll have to randomly change it every so often, because some kid could still call and get the number. And then, so anyways, I have the instructions from Beth to
Okay.
set the number up. She had sent them to me last year.
So so the phone number exists, we call in and set the
Yep,
message?
so they got the
Okay.
phone all set up last
Okay.
year. I got this email in December, and I told her we wouldn't do it till spring.
Okay.
She sent me the directions of how to put the message on it.
Do we have a lock for codes already?
Nope.
Okay,
But we have a
Well, we
lock
have the
that can be
lock that's
changed.
there. Yeah, I don't know how to change them, but,
okay,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're changeable, but yeah.
yeah.
okay.
The only thing
It's-
that I would be concerned about is somebody changing it on us. Is there a way to have it so like, where at the school, there's a key override, that you can actually put a key into it and,
We could, we
It's-
can get, that kind of lock, that's a good point.
And that's the one
Just
I've
because,
had
I
up
mean,
there
you-
before.
otherwise we're just gonna be cutting, we're gonna be
Yeah.
taking a pair of
Okay.
bolt
So
cutters.
you're
someone
right,
could
that's
change the
terrible.
code for us and the key would let us open it. Okay, okay,
Yeah,
that
that's a
sounds good.
point.
Yeah, I can check and see where they source
That'd
them
be
from.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I've seen them at Country 3, but that'd be great if you know
I've
which
gotten them
one.
before when we were, because we locked the utility box, so. Anyways, I did a quick write-up of what we would put on the message.
Okay,
Do you want me to read it real quick?
sure.
I didn't time it, but I tried to keep it quick.
Well, if it goes beep, you know,
You have reached the Weare Parks and Recreation Commission tennis court access line. At the end of this message, you will receive the access code to enter the courts. By using the access code, you agree to all rules listed on the court signage, including proper footwear, no pets, skateboards, bikes, or other equipment that would damage the court. It is your responsibility to lock the gate when done using courts. Any violations of the usage rules will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. The current access code is
Okay.
3-4. Then we talked about doing a sign. I suggest the sign says, due to vandalism of tennis courts, courts will be locked until further notice. To access the code, to unlock gate, call, then I have the number.
Okay.
Gate must be locked once you are done using courts. Access code will change on a random basis. Any issues or concerns should be directed to Parks and Rec at our email number.
Okay.
I don't know, does that sound like,
I like it. I think that sounds fine.
Now,
So,
this voicemail, is it only outgoing so that we're not gonna get a whole bunch of hangups on it once they're done?
well, we're not gonna check
You're-
messages.
they-
Should we say there's,
I don't know that,
No messages are checked at this, yeah, it's just a voice message.
should we bother? It might not, I think you can set
can
it up
say-
so it doesn't take
I
recordings.
can do
I
that.
You can
I-
do greeting
I-
only, I think.
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
it's the Weare Town phone system, so I'm pretty sure you can
I
set
can
it up
ask
way.
that question, or
That's a
right at
good-
the end, I could say, please do not leave a message.
Yeah,
Not be re-
we do not, these messages are not listened to.
This line's not,
Actually, that could be on the
The
sign, do not leave message.
yeah.
Yeah, but how
Are
are they
you
gonna,
ordering a sign, Denise?
No, but I can.
But if you tell
I
me
don't know
what,
how to
you
do
could,
that.
if we agree on what's going on the sign, I can just order it through
So
Brown
we like what she,
How quickly can I get that?
pretty quickly.
Okay. So I'll email everything I wrote.
okay.
If you want, I'll email it after the
Is
meeting.
that good?
so
Then you can
have
copy
it.
and paste
For
it
the
when you
sign.
order it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yep.
just,
I would
it's like
say,
4 or 5.
to report vandalism, I would put somewhere, put the park email,
Well, she
please.
did that.
And the police, call police.
Yeah, she did the parking.
Yeah,
The
please.
nice thing is with it being locked, there's no animal waste up there this year. It's all
That's nice.
Yes, we have definitely caught lots of dog walking activity. I've walked
They
up
let
to
them
the
in there
court
so
and
they
been
can run
like,
around
like
and
dog
be
park.
off
oh, yeah,
leash.
Yeah.
yeah. I've gone right up there.
Cause we have it over at the middle school where they'll go on the baseball field and I'm like,
And so I guess, I was thinking we could getting this all done by this weekend isn't gonna work. I was thinking maybe next weekend, could that be the opening date?
You don't wanna set nets up when we're not ready.
Well, I think we should have all this in place. As soon as we unlock that gate,
Yeah,
we're gonna have vandalism.
it's free for all.
Yeah, so I was thinking if we opened it for next Saturday, that would also allow the Weare Pickleball Club to maybe hold a meeting, a quick meeting, just to
That's
see
fine.
if there's any,
So the 22nd of April?
yeah, work to be, if there's any cleanup or brush cutting, or just to go over. I want to talk to them about the whole lock thing.
Now, for net setup, do
I
you?
can do that.
I was gonna say, did you want us all to get together and do it, or are you good?
Bruce and I can do it.
Okay.
I was halfway thinking between now and the 22nd, I could try to paint the post.
Okay.
I was gonna try to cover, and I've got this, we just had, I got a lot of cardboard that I could box it in.
So you got spray paint, so it won't go on
Yeah.
the court, okay.
Yeah.
I
This is the
gotcha.
first I'm seeing of this application. It's dated from February, sorry.
So,
Okay, shiny.
so, I didn't know if I could get down there, I could also paint the
Okay, yeah.
post
put a-
before we put the nets back up.
put something-
the only other question I have is, who owns around that? I assume that's all,
You got the town, did you get the town property map?
Yeah, I have the town property map, so,
I mean, I'm just concerned on, if you're standing looking at the court from the parking lot, all those bushes on the left side, who,
oh, no, I've worked with Naomi, some of those we were able to cut because they don't belong. It's, Colburn who owns that to the side, and he's given them permission to cut the trees, which we cut. But the bushes that climb up the fence, that's all we just cut the bushes out of the fence, we don't cut anything
It's on the
beyond.
outside.
well, it's on the outside, and it's all right on that one corner are they the town bushes or are they Colburn's bushes?
Why?
I think we go
I
so,
would just say take them all out. If,
Yeah. we
I,
should.
if we own them and we can take
So
them,
here's the nice thing, it creates a little bit of buffer, so people don't see that we have a storage unit up there, and, you know, it just kind of like, you have to really walk up there to see.
If the Weare Pickleball Club is, I mean, if they're maintaining and cleaning the courts and raking and sweeping, if it's not a problem, because they just trim it
The
back, then I
trees
think
were the
that's-
problem, and they cut the trees
And so that's
down.
gonna be a lot better this year then.
So, I mean,
it's up to you guys. I mean, I
I-
was more looking at, how much are you cleaning up? Is it more worth it just to get rid of them all?
no, since we did the major cleanup, it's been pretty easy, and the trees coming down, it's been even easier. Because the warrant article didn't pass, I'm not going forward with getting a surveyor at this point. We'll
Right.
talk about it later in the fall.
Right.
But I do have one more item that I'd like to just bring forth about the tennis courts. So, as you know, Weare Pickleball Club has spent probably well over probably closer to $1,500 buying all the equipment and everything. In that utility bin up there, there are 2 nets that anybody can use.
Pickleball nets? Okay,
That the club bought.
right. So
There's-
not tennis stuff, pickleball stuff.
Pickleball stuff. There's one net that Bruce and I put in there that personally belongs to us. We leave it in there all summer. And then a resident of Henniker bought one. He leaves it when he's not using it, but then takes it. And we have 4 courts. The nets are getting pretty old now, and I've had to repair one of them once. We just paid for it. So I'm going to ask if Parks and Rec would consider, in the same way that we upgrade equipment for the playgrounds, would Parks and Rec consider buying a net?
So when somebody's doing pickleball and somebody's doing tennis or vice versa, where would these pickleball nets be when they're not in use so they could be accessible?
They're in that bin.
Okay, but the bin also is holding private use
No,
nets. So there wouldn't be someone's personal net in there, there'd only be,
Bruce and I put our personal net in there, as does the Henniker resident, for public use.
oh, okay.
We
So,
put it in there and
so whatever's in the bin,
Yep,
public could use it?
yep. We've donated paddles.
Okay.
We pay for all the
Okay.
balls.
I just wanted to make
Yeah.
sure if we were storing town of Weare
How do
equipment
we-
that it wasn't,
How does it get accessed by the public?
is it
then?
unlocked? Just a bin just sitting there unlocked?
No, so the way we've been handling it is we just ask them to join the pickleball club. There's no fee. They just, as soon as they say yes, we send them kind of the rules of the courts. The whole agreement of sharing with tennis players, all of that, and then they get the
Yeah, but if the
codes to-
if the town buys the nets, it just has to be there, ready, open, no joining, no nothing. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It has to just be, it's
Access.
different, because
Well,
now
then
the
we
town
can-
owns it.
Then
'cause-
we can, I mean, Warner does the same thing. Warner bought all the nets,
Okay.
all the balls, all the paddles.
Yep.
And they lock the bin, and they give
Is it the town or the club?
Nope, the town of Warner.
And how do they have
And they give 2 or 3 people who play on a regular basis, they give them the code, and those people go down and open the bins during the day when play is occurring, and they pass the code around. If you leave those bins unlocked, you are gonna,
Can the code be the same as the door code? So when they get the code entrance to the tennis courts, they get the code entrance to the bin? So it's the same? Because it has to be completely accessible by everyone.
well,
It
and I
can't be a
think,
club, it can't be a join thing
no,
to get it.
so they don't have, so then they contact Ware Parks and Recs and we give them the code.
The same phone number, the same code as the
I
door?
would not do that, because then you're gonna get some kid who's gonna find out that it's the same code, and they're gonna unlock that bin, and they're gonna take all our nets, all our paddles, all our balls. Why can't we just put a sign up there that says, please contact Ware Parks and Rec for the combination to the bin? I mean, that's what other towns are doing.
Yeah, I guess
I'm a full-time rec person.
well, it would be an email. They-
Warner
they wouldn't-
does,
They wouldn't
Warner
get it,
doesn't
They have
have
to
a,
plan it.
they wouldn't get it that immediately.
yeah.
I mean,
Once you get
that sounds fair.
Once you get the code.
Because obviously
We
if they're-
don't change the code.
Right.
We haven't changed the code in 4 years.
That sounds fair. You could say they could either contact the Weare Pickleball Club or the Parks and Rec Department.
Yeah, and-
I think that's fair. Just contacting someone for the codes, much more reasonable than joining a club. Because
Because even,
there's gonna be people
yeah,
that's.
most people are joining only because it's a schedule, they can use the scheduling. to
And I
know
get
who's-
that.
Yeah.
But if the town buys it, it belongs to everybody.
No, and
So it
what's
has
been
to
up
be
there has
accessible.
belonged to everybody. We haven't refused anybody.
And I get that.
Yeah.
I get that,
There's,
but,
we've given the code to everybody. We
Right.
just don't publish it.
right.
Because we'll lose all our equipment. You know, like I said, a lot of people have paid, put their own private money into it.
Right.
So anyways,
Well, that, and that's like a donation.
yeah, it is. It is like a donation. I guess my point is, maybe it's time for Parks and Rec to start, like the other towns, Concord, Warner, purchasing some of the
I mean,
equipment.
the town of Ware Grants paid for the resurfacing, including
Yeah.
the pickleball lines.
Yeah.
So we're definitely
Yeah, yeah,
moving in the
yeah.
pickleball
Oh,
direction.
yeah,
Yeah, there's
yeah.
no doubt about that. So the fact that pickleball equipment, I mean, I don't know how everybody else feels. Chime in, tell me your ideas,
What's
your
the cost of
thoughts.
the nets?
So, the net.
Fine, get to the serious stuff.
The net I'm recommending is on sale right now for $370. It's a quick setup, so you don't have to have a lot of instructions, again, if people are gonna be doing this. It's more heavy-duty, so it's gonna last longer. You can get it through Pickleball Central, or you can get it through Amazon. Pricing is the same on both, no shipping on either or.
Okay.
The ones we've been using are $185, but those are the ones I've had to repair. Somebody falls on,
So, do they need repair before one season's over?
no, I've repaired them all.
No, I mean, how long until you have to repair them? When you buy them, does it last a season?
Oh, yeah, yeah. They've lasted us 4 years, because when somebody falls on them and bends them, I
Yeah.
go order new pieces.
Okay,
This one has less metal pieces,
okay.
So
so
I think that
that,
can be permanently put up, so that like one side has permanent nets on it?
yeah, so they do have, they're not permanent, because to have permanent nets,
the
you have to have a post.
You take away from the tennis
No,
court too, right, doesn't it?
I know, I'm just trying to figure if there's a way for us to leave it
A
up. so
lot
we
of
don't have
towns,
to have a box.
a lot of towns, not a lot of towns, you can buy the nets on wheels, and you just push them off to the side.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I would not recommend doing that, because again, you're gonna get,
Somebody that rolls it right out the door.
well, but can't you, if it's tied up to it on one end, and then it just pulls out, I'm envisioning, and I don't know what these look
you
like.
can't tie
I'm
them up.
envisioning like
A
like
retractable.
retractable fence.
She's
like what
picturing
my
it
parents
from the
have,
fence and then it goes out
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
You
so it
can't-
never
You
leaves.
not
can't
that.
do that, because when you're playing, it would create a tripping hazard if you're going for,
Yeah, no, I didn't know
Yeah.
if there was such a thing.
yeah, they do have them on wheels, and some, I've seen them just pushed off to the side of the fence, but I don't recommend in the town of Ware that we do that. I just, you're setting up to have the equipment damaged or stolen.
How do the ones on wheels work? Are they wheels on both ends that go out?
The legs have wheels on them.
So it's like they're posts with wheels and it's the whole setup. But she's talking about there's no way to secure them when they're not in use. You'd have to lock them to the fence,
Yep, and then you'd have to unlock them and,
which
Well,
could be the
we're
same
locking-
code as the box.
yeah,
We're
we're
locking them
locking the
already. But it would be a matter of what's,
I feel like anything you leave up there, you're setting up for vandalism. And somebody might not steal them, but
could cut them.
we all know what's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna unlock the gate and they're gonna not lock it again when they come out. We're gonna drive by there some night, it's gonna be unlocked. And it's not gonna take much to have it vandalized. I mean, it's been working well with the bin. Have you guys had any complaints?
No.
No.
Well, no, but the town of Ware's never owned pickleball nets, so it's, you know what I mean? So it's not like
Right,
we've
but
had
they're-
people.
But the equipment's at the public courts. Nobody's ever complained that they haven't been able to get in the,
Right, but they wouldn't complain to us because we don't own them.
all right, anyways, it
So I
doesn't
hear you,
matter.
but
I put
No,
the
no, no,
request
no.
out there, that's fine.
So, how many,
I'm just asking that the town this year buy one net, so that we start as a town having the nets like we do the tennis court nets.
And one net goes on one half of the tennis court. So if there were no tennis players, you could have 4 pickleball courts, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
But the club has already donated 2.
Okay.
And Bruce and I have been donating ours, which makes 3, this would make 4.
Do you ever have it where all 4 are in use?
We have.
Okay.
Yeah.
So should the town buy 2?
I think if we bought 1
Okay.
this year, and then see how it goes, see if you get any complaints, and then maybe look at buying a second one next year, and then we can start retiring the older, they're not, some of the nets are, because the frames are, they're not straight, let me just say that, but they're playable, they're usable. So I'm not asking.
What do they hook to, like, are there like posts?
Yeah, you just set up the post,
Okay.
and you put the net on them, and then these, you just pull the string.
And there's room for it in the box, because the tennis nets will come out, okay. Thoughts, everybody?
I'm looking at them.
So, Amazon versus, it's probably the company that sells them on Amazon.
It's the same price, I looked them up.
Oh.
Yeah, it's probably them that sells it on Amazon,
Yeah.
is why it's.
So there's this really nifty, like, you're talking about this really big thing. It's got a bar across.
It looks like this.
This is what I have on my phone. Hold up. Oh, the ones on wheels?
Oh, okay.
Because, well, and the reason I'm asking Denise, and I don't know, I'm just trying to picture this. If we had one end locked to the fence and it swung around, then it's there. Nobody can.
Or it
really
could be the
turn
No,
same,
but
it
the
could be
problem
the
is-
same
is
code as the box.
The pickleball lines are in the middle of the tennis courts.
I know that.
So you can't,
Tether them, if you're going out for a wide shot, you're gonna trip over.
Oh, so you play over here on the end of
If a
them?
ball goes over that way, you're going outside the lines.
Oh, I didn't know you played beside the net.
But
can hit
Lisa has
around
a
the
good
net.
point, though. One end could be chained to the fence.
Well, not if your play point is
No,
right
no,
here.
no, and unlocked and put into play.
That's what
But
I,
it could be the same lock as the bin, so it's still
I don't
locked
think,
up.
I think they care, putting up and taking it down, I don't think is a big deal.
these are really nice.
How much are those?
I don't know, they're all too expensive.
You guys we can vote however you want. I'm gonna vote against having anything not locked in the bin. You can lock it to the fence, somebody's gonna go in there
Well,
and
the
run
tennis,
into it on
the
the.
tennis court nets aren't vandalized,
Look
and
at
they're
the-
just
Look at
out.
the bicycle, how
I'm
close the
talking about the
bicycle,
nets.
look how close the bicycle tires came to those nets.
I would be more worried about people knocking over the nets. I think locking them up and keeping them secure is the best way to go. And
Did you find a price?
Oh, I'd have to do research on my computer, and unfortunately, I can't get onto the town Wi-Fi, so.
All right, so,
I don't know enough about them. I'd have to do a lot of research.
does that mean nobody wants to make a motion?
Well, Denise knows a lot about them, I just don't, so I can't make a decision.
Where would we take the money from?
I would say we take it out of,
Recreation activities?
Or do we have
account
equipment?
631, recreation activities.
So I'll make a motion to spend, is there shipping included on that?
I'd just say
So
up
it's
to four,
separate?
let's do 400.
All right, I'll make a motion to spend up to $400 on a pickleball net to be kept in the secured bin at the tennis courts, with a condition that if the shipping is greater than $400, like if it's over.
Yeah, to be
If
20,
it makes the whole thing.
because it's like it's
I
380.
looked it up, both of them is free shipping.
They are free shipping, okay. Then if it's free shipping, we don't need to worry about going over, but we'll spend up to $400 on the net.
I'll second that. All
I'm
those,
taking it out of line 631.
Yes.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Abstaining? Okay. Weare now owns officially a pickleball net. So I'd like to say, and I don't know if you want me to do it, Denise, or if you want to do it, to email Beth that we'd like to have on the park website,
Yep.
opening day of the tennis court and the new edition of the net and how they could acquire the code.
Okay.
that
We're gonna
would be.
put a sign up right on the door though, right?
But the code for the nets is not the same as the code for the door. She can definitely
Oh, so it's two
address,
separate ones, yeah.
yeah, she can definitely, you can definitely address the door code if you want to on the website, in case people are on their phones looking at that and they didn't read the sign. But also a note about the pickleball net.
I can put also a note on the bin
Yeah,
That's fine too.
that says to obtain code, email, or if they
Yep.
go through Team Reach, they'll get a pretty
Yeah.
much.
Right. I'd also like it on the website though too, if, is that okay?
Oh, yeah, but
Okay.
I'm saying I can also, in addition to that,
Yes, oh, yes.
put a little sign on the bin to say, here's how you can get the
That would,
code.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah, that would be
Because
perfect.
there's two ways they can do it, and if they go through Team Reach, there's three of us who are watching it, we get a ping on our phones.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They can get a pretty quick
Okay, good.
response.
Do we have a feel for how often the code's gonna change? I know it's randomly, but
The bin code, we haven't changed ever.
But the door code.
Yeah, the door
is
code.
The
asking.
door code, I'm gonna
It
say
depends
at
on how,
least-
I see how the vandalism goes, see, if we're
We're
getting, all of a
hoping,
sudden getting dog poop and everything else in there, then we're gonna have to keep changing
I
it.
think we should try for at least once a month.
At
That's what I
least.
was
I
gonna
agree.
say.
Once
Yeah.
a month, and then we can monitor, and if it needs to be changed more frequently, we can change it more frequently.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
so, and then I know there's a barrier of entry when you're calling a phone number and waiting for a message and whatnot to get to that.
We're hoping it'll deter the,
Right, so that's what I'm getting, like, is it worth putting it somewhere on the website, putting the code there? It makes it easy to find, which is bad for vandalism, but also,
The phone number calling, what we're hoping is if somebody does call, then their phone
Yeah.
number is recorded. So then we have something to
Do
go
we know
back
that
to,
that's
oh,
true?
happened, the vandalism happened within this amount of time. Because
Caller
when they
ID?
call, when they call, they're also agreeing to all the tennis court rules and they're agreeing to leaving it locked up.
do you,
I'll double check that
Ask
we're
Beth about caller ID?
capturing their code.
Yeah, we'll see if
My
that-
understanding was we were gonna at least get the phone number of who called,
Yeah.
so that you could at least say within this 8-hour
and
period.
Granite State does caller ID, we just have to make sure it's on that phone line, so.
I mean, the ideal, as we said, if we could get the selectmen to look at investing in cameras.
There's reasons they won't do cameras though,
But,
yeah.
I mean, even the vandalism that occurred down at Bolton Field would have been picked up.
Yeah, without all
Camera.
expenditure of police time and effort, it would happen.
But that's a topic for another day.
Well, and cameras are used in other towns, it's just that the expense of them, and I attended a meeting, for a couple of the companies that do this. They're really expensive, so we wanted to go with less expensive cameras that would ping our phones, but there's legal issues with that.
All right, let's go on to the skate park.
Anybody else have anything with
Nope,
tennis courts?
nope.
Thank you, Denise. Skate park, Ben Lanier is a Boy Scout in town, Troop 24, just putting feelers out for an Eagle project and asked if there was, if there were projects in the works specifically for the skate park, and I replied, and Dave replied about the metal that we saved from when we disposed of the rotten ramps. And that I just said that it's always on our idea block, but we're not actively doing anything, so hopefully he'll get up a proposal and come in and do a meeting. With Eagle Scouts in town, we've gotten kiosks at the lake, we've gotten picnic tables at many, of our fields and parks, and benches, some of the fields, so a lot of Eagle projects have really helped the park, so that would be amazing. Actually, his brother is an Eagle Scout, redid all the dugouts at, Bolton's
Bolton, I was
baseball
about to say
field.
Bolton, I thought.
Yep,
Got the Eagle.
and,
contract on it.
so, okay, other than that,
there was
Yeah.
a lot of talk on the Weare Facebook page, certainly within the last 12 months, people asking the same question about the skate park, and a lot of people volunteering time or
Yeah,
materials.
they never
they do, they
materialize.
always,
So I didn't know if this is an opportunity to.
We would love that.
Like, we know who those people are, they posted, and we know somebody who's now interested in overseeing an effort.
Yeah.
I
and
don't know
I've
if
def,
it's- I don't know if it's Parks Place to connect those dots.
We've been through this before.
I've
They-
reached, yeah.
They show up on Facebook and they say they're gonna come out and then they don't show up.
You're absolutely right. We've had a lot of people reach out. One person so much as personally was messaging, Park directly on Facebook Messenger about, doing plans. And so it's all really great ideas, but, no one's committed. So, we do ask for volunteers on, we're going to be at the skate park, we're going to be doing this, so always welcome, but it's the commitment. And I know that the skate park originally was built by volunteers. But when the Eagle Project goes, if and when, absolutely, there's usually community reach out. You know, we're doing this, we're looking for volunteers and stuff, so.
The other thing is,
that-
the other scouts will show up too to help.
Yeah.
Right, so Ben would have to.
Because they get community service hours.
Right, but if Ben chooses the skate park as his project, he is the project manager. We cannot solicit
No, he
volunteers
can
on
reach
his
out.
behalf. He has to do it.
Yeah,
Right, he can reach out. And, absolutely, we could share his posts and things like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're always welcome, and we always invite them, because they come out very often and mention it, and they're always invited to a meeting, you know, and that's what ends up happening, is they don't end up
Especially these
making it
people
to the
who are
meeting.
so willing, like, hey, look, you know, we need materials and,
Right.
because obviously the more he can do, the better, and, you know, whether, yeah, so.
you know, it's great when they're on Facebook, but then they have to actually come.
We have I don't remember if the sign for at your own.
Oh, to go back to the skate park, it looks like that gate isn't really bent. We just need to pop the, fence back together. The clips are probably sitting out there on the ground. I just haven't gone and looked to see. We may just need to put some clips on it just to get it back.
So I reached out to MH Fence just to have him look at it. I haven't been there, so I don't know what you know, but he, this is what he had written, March 24th. To remove and reinstall the existing gates, and install black or yellow. So the fence gets climbed over and leaned on, so the tops it peels off. Couple hooks come off, and then it just sags down, and and that's why we've had to repair it in the past. So they sell those tube things, the plastic tube things that go over the top, so the leaning and the climbing doesn't hurt the top of the fence. The plastic things prevent that. So, remove and reinstall existing gates, install black or yellow, safe top chain link safety covers. Gates were damaged by a snowplow. He wrote no longer functional. Said job shall consist of removing both gates, repairing and restretching new wire onto damaged gates, reinstalling bulldog hinges, allowing the gates to work correctly, and refitting the caps to the posts. Gates will need new latches and drop rods. So I don't know if where they're actually hooking, if that's what he's saying is damaged. And
I really haven't really looked at it
I'm
to be able to see.
fine if we wanna do like a site meeting out there, you know? That's an option for all of us to stand there together and
But
look.
he's got a quote here, right?
He has a quote,
And does the snowplow company have insurance?
$1,846.40. I reached out to Naomi, I did not hear back about who or how does the town specifically go out after insurance stuff? I don't think Park has that kind of
Yeah, we don't,
authority
yeah.
to do, I believe that's administration. So I reached out to Naomi. I hadn't heard back. I do reach out to her a lot. So, $1,846.48. That includes the tops, covers.
Is that the whole way around?
The covers would be all of it.
All of the fence,
Yes.
not just the
No,
gates?
no. The covers would be all the fence. Because this is something we've talked about
Yeah.
the last time we had him repairing it. Because that was what was they had climbed and pushed it down and everything.
My only concern with putting those on is then people will actually be hopping over it. Where now they're less likely to be hopping over it. There are the two entrances on either end to get out.
I
Are
don't
you
know that.
talking about those round things?
Yeah.
Like the yellow thing that's down
Yeah,
on the
but they don't,
softball fence.
I don't
they're
think,
gonna hop over it either way.
Whether or not- yeah,
And the
they're-
good thing about
regardless.
those yellow things is that all of the bees are gonna do nuts in it, so when they hop over,
Then they
there's a
get stung?
consequence.
Yeah, then they get stung and then that's.
I know,
the-
we don't want them to get stung, but I'm just saying that it's there to prevent
do we wanna have a
damage.
meeting
They're
where
gonna
we
hop either way.
where we show up and site walk it and talk together and look at it and go over it? Do we wanna shelf this for later? He did tell me that, materials go up, this time of year, cause it's springtime, so his suppliers, he didn't have a number, he did say, 7% typically. I mean, he didn't have the number yet, he was just saying, in the past, in the spring, around this time,
Does it say how long that quote's good for?
14 days. I got it on March 24th, so it's right around there. I don't know, I'd have to count, it might be 14 days. Because he did reach out again, he's like, do you have any answers? And I'm like, we don't meet until, just throwing out there that the supply track record is a 7% increase every March and April. And again in May, before it caps off for the year. So, so yeah, if this was quoted on the 24th of, come on, calendar, 24th of March, we have 7 days, yeah, 14 days was the 7th. So we're already over that, so he would definitely, and he may honor it still, it may not have changed, but it could change, because it's over 14 days. So, I just wanna get a feel, do people want to not look at this right now? Do we wanna meet at the skate park? How do people feel? Lisa, how do you feel?
Have you guys done a walkthrough? I mean, are you confident that?
No.
No.
No,
We should.
Dave peeks at it, he works there.
Are you feeling that it needs those repairs?
I drove by it because I dropped my kids off, so, and I didn't get down that end this past weekend because I was fixing the baseball backstop, so I didn't get to actually look at it to see if it's
Okay,
needs.
so no one has this, the,
I mean, I think we should determine that definitely the gate and latches need to be repaired.
Yeah.
I do think we've been talking for a year or more about the yellow.
caps.
One way or the other, we probably should agree that or agree or not
Decide
agree.
on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, okay. All right, so I don't feel comfortable ordering anything unless we go and look at it.
Well, and I
So-
also think that we should probably make sure that we can't go through insurance.
Right,
So if we can go through insurance, that's what we should do.
absolutely. Yeah, okay. So step one, we look, or step one, yeah, well, step one, we look.
You have to look.
We look.
Yep.
Saturday, do people wanna just go meet for a half an hour? There's other things I'm thinking about meeting for too, so do you wanna just shelf this and we'll talk about it at the end? Or do you wanna pick a time?
I'm out of town this,
What time do you leave?
6 o'clock in the morning.
5:30, we'll be at the skate, I'm just kidding.
Oh, this is 6 o'clock
Are
in the
you in
morning.
town Sunday?
Nope. Not till, yeah, I'll be in town Sunday at about 10:30 at night in time to.
I don't think every single one of us has to be there.
No,
I think
no,
who can
it's
make
fine.
it, can make it, trusting that we'll all
Yeah,
determine.
I think Dave has faith in us being able to make the
And
decision.
then who's gonna reach out to Naomi to determine whether this is a,
I'll email her.
Or call her, sometimes her emails just get
She
buried.
just doesn't, can't get her on the phone most of the time. So every time, I mean, yeah, I know.
What night is she late at town hall?
Monday,
Monday?
yeah,
Only because of the Board of Selectmen meeting.
yes.
She doesn't do evening hours. All right. But wait, okay, I can't
I
really.
mean, looking online, you know.
Some mornings,
5 8-foot sections is $115.
Can you buy that other piping stuff though for it?
the skate park's like 50 feet by 100 feet.
if,
And you're
if
talking about
I,
8-foot sections.
if I have to come down here to talk to Beth about ordering stuff and the questions on the phone,
Okay.
I could see if Naomi's.
Okay.
Sometimes when I come in to see Beth, she's in her office.
What days do they have opposing days?
Naomi is off on Tuesdays, Beth is off on Thursdays.
But they're both here on Wednesdays? Technically. Okay, well, tomorrow's Wednesday.
Do you mind?
No?
Okay.
Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you, Denise. Yes, and ask her about, and it was the school snow plowing company,
Firmly rooted.
firmly rooted. But we can still meet. I don't know how people feel about Saturday morning. I mean, just like, I don't even know. Cause we have to talk about setting up the sunshades, and we have to talk about fixing the slide at Bolton. So when do people wanna do a meetup at the skate park?
Sooner rather than later.
So, I mean, an evening after work or a quick morning on the weekend? What's easier for people? Stop by, like,
I'm not available after work. Look at this is my calendar. Not even all filled in.
how's
I
Saturday
can do
morning?
Saturday morning,
9 a.m., 10 a.m.,
8 a.m.,
8 a.m., 8 a.m.?
8 a.m.
Denise?
Yeah, I have a
Four?
kids have soccer game, but
4 to 6 is fine.
What time is soccer?
I have no idea. I haven't got that far
It'll be
yet.
night
8
owl.
AM I can,
8 AM Saturday.
Okay,
You can call us, Salem.
I'll be there.
Um,
And just throwing out there that if it does turn out that we need extensive, like if the gates need to come off, it may be handy to have those off while an Eagle project is going on.
they open,
Oh,
so
they
they're
open up.
vehicle gates, they open,
Oh,
they swing
okay,
open, yeah,
okay.
so, but they're not working right now, I think is what, I think what he's selling
Thinking
us.
like just, one person gate. put a
Now,
gate-
they're huge, like 8, because when we had the, features delivered last summer, we drove the vehicle right in and dropped everything off, so so no, there won't be a problem for that. All right, so,
is it Dave on
park
Saturday?
it
The
is.
22nd.
Yeah,
No.
which,
The 15th.
15th.
The 15th.
it is the 15th.
I have the date right.
I mean, there are other prices out there, so we need to research the price of those tops.
Well, I'm gonna
because-
tell you right now, the
The
tops.
other thing is, all you have to do is buy that flexible, whatever that is, piping,
If it has a slice through it, otherwise you have to cut
and
it.
you can cut it and stick it on.
I'm not
so.
volunteering for that. Do not voluntold me.
I'll call your husband.
On to the next one.
Okay, so 8 AM Saturday,
You can call me, I'll be
Now-
in the car.
that is technically a
Delaware.
meeting, so this has to be posted at the town, because when enough of them when enough of us are together, it's a meeting. So we have to post the site walk. And once, we even had people come, when we were at the tennis courts. We had people come to a site walk, only time.
On the young gentleman who wanted to do the Eagle project,
Yes.
did we leave that as, he's gotta reach out to us?
Yes,
now, at
yeah,
this
we
point?
said,
Okay.
we said Park would absolutely love to hear your ideas. And he's a family, his brother did it, so I'm sure that he's got the, okay, anybody else about the skate park? Okay. I don't have any field usage forms, I don't have any requests, any volunteers, anything like that, anybody else? Okay, Bolton. We always still need an irrigation company, anybody that shouted out,
I
say,
left another message. They're not all batting down our door.
okay.
beating down our
So
door.
we still don't have an irrigation company?
Nope.
Okay.
I did. I left another message today, actually.
Wood chips. We probably need a new quote from Stockhouse, or you had also talked about Abar Tree Service having
We
chips?
can't, oh, regular wood chips, or are you
Wood
talking
chi-
about playground wood chips? Because the playground ones have to be, they're specific.
Yeah, right. The tree service people just have extra chips to just give us for weed control for other places.
You
With the
had
playground.
somebody that was
Playground chips?
not for playground.
Okay. I'm talking about playground. I'm talking about at Bolton Field, because you can see the bottom of the play structures. Stockhouse does playground chips.
Yeah, I thought,
Question
Gave
on
us
the
a
plate.
price
I
before.
thought firmly, I know the school went through, didn't they use firmly rooted for the playground chips too?
I don't think so. I think they got
Question
it
other
from Henniker.
places, it's deep enough you can sink a pickup truck.
I know, you can, yeah,
Yes,
you can sink a
I've
pickup
seen
truck
that
right in there.
happen. I wasn't driving. It was pretty deep.
Yeah,
Do
it's
you-
deep in spots.
Do you want to
Because
call?
they're decomposing. We can ask again what the new,
Stockhouse?
what the new.
Yeah, I mean, we have to
quote
get a new
is.
quote. We couldn't do it then.
How many
so-
do we need? It was like $2,000 or $3,000.
He knows the Bolton field. Well, now with the revolving account, hopefully we can do it we can cross our fingers in the fall. All right, so you'll reach out to Stockhouse?
Right now.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm being demanding.
No, it's fine.
All right. When you talk to Naomi, can you add on that Stockhouse bushwhacks Bolton playground? When he's there doing maintenance and work at Bolton.
Yeah, it needs to go into the contract now.
Needs to go into the contract, and we've been telling Naomi
We've been
for a
asking
year
her
and a
for
half.
years.
I think the contract's already done, isn't it?
I don't
We've
know.
asked- we
She
asked
can-
her last year,
We,
too.
we asked last year,
When,
so you
when
can make
say,
sure.
You're talking up the hills? or-
Inside the fence.
Oh, inside the fence,
Inside the
okay.
fence where the kids
I know
are
what you mean.
playing.
And,
It's
and
just,
just on the outside too, right? Right around the
yeah, like a
outside.
walking path, inside and
Yes, I
outside,
know
because
what
if you
you're
don't do
talking
the
about,
outside, it
yep.
just comes inside.
Actually,
We're not talking about the hill or anything like that type of stuff.
I should
can we
send
actually,
you,
can we actually see the contract?
Foot,
We asked for it.
we haven't seen it yet, but, well, it's public record, because it
Salem.
gets sent out to bid.
We would like the contract.
If you can get us a
I'd like to
copy.
see a copy of the contract.
We've asked
Please.
for a while,
All right.
so it'd be great if we could actually manage.
Okay.
I have, I can
I mean,
send
he's
it-
great and he always does,
No, he's wonderful.
He does great.
I did an inventory, a picture inventory of all of our facilities that I sent to all the selectmen. I'll get you a copy. Just to show how many structures.
I won't give you my copy, but you can look at it if you want to.
Sure.
You have to get back.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Denise. Driveway gate. So as we talked about in the last meeting, we have approval to move forward with gating the entrance, with the right-of-way, people having access to the gate. And,
The police said they'd lock it at night.
the police said they would lock it at night.
So, and so I ran that by the chief in passing, and he was totally open to it, but not as they like committed, we absolutely will, but I think
Okay.
they would.
Right. I mean, it's not being locked at all at this moment, so some, being locked, as much as possible.
we
So,
just need to make sure, I mean, obviously it's right kinda there, but whatever we put onto that gate, we need to make sure that there's plenty of reflective material so if somebody doesn't go flying right into it.
so you have to turn off of the highway, you know what I mean?
You shouldn't be
coming-
picking up enough speed
Yeah,
right
you're
there.
coming to the highway and,
You gotta go past the
granite
sign.
post sign
You gotta
and-
go past the signs.
I mean, if
and-
someone hits that thing, they better have insurance.
Well,
I hear you on the reflective stuff, but you're
Just- you wanna
definitely,
make sure that
your
it's-
headlights aren't even gonna, yeah.
You gotta go far more than a car's length to hit that.
It is, you could park like 20 cars before you get to the gate. So to remove and reinstall the old gate, because there actually are pieces over there. 4-inch gate posts, re-stretch the existing chain link fabric that secures to the driveway, otherwise you can just drive around the gate. Bolton Athletic Field, existing fence line is repairable with the exception of the 4-inch gate post and the barrier gates. The gate posts will be removed and new gate posts will be drilled in, to 4-foot depth and concreted. Existing fence to be restretched to new posts. Install new bulldog hinges, rehang gates. Price includes disposal of all old materials. 4-inch gate posts by 8 feet long. Barrier gate is 13 feet, 2.5 inches long by 1 7/8 inches galvanized tubing. Total cost of job, material, and labor is $2,739.02. So, we have to make a decision if somebody wants to make a motion, and if a line item is going to
Well,
go
can we, while he's there, can we get an estimate to extend the gate or extend the fencing on the football field?
We won't need to. Because we're gonna be locking it at night. So,
Well-
and we can just have, weren't we gonna
Even
ask
during the day when it's
DPW to
open.
put rocks there?
Well,
Boulders there?
here's the picture where,
this winter.
no, where you can see you can see the fence in the back.
Yeah.
So if we were even to go up another 30, 40 feet,
Even if the gates are open during the day, I think Dave's concern is people can still drive over there in the middle of the day.
Yeah, they can.
But
But I thought we were gonna ask
I
DPW to
think we
put
were
rocks
gonna
there.
have DPW do rocks.
yeah, I mean, there are some rocks up at the top. You can move some of them, but not,
Who wants,
There's a lot of rocks
who
there.
wants to reach out to DPW?
because there's two rows of rocks sitting there. There's a row of rocks, and there's another.
Is there a new person yet?
Jason.
Jason, who,
Yes.
I can call DPW tomorrow.
is Naomi still their administration?
No,
No, she's,
Sandy Robinson is.
okay.
Who
Does
is?
she,
Sandy Robinson.
she has a number at the garage?
Here's a
Yeah,
second
it's
row
the,
of rocks.
it's one,
Those ones.
number
We
529,
can
I
move
think
down,
it's
because there's more
7494.
rocks sitting right there.
And really,
Do you want to call them?
yeah, like, yeah, 'cause even up
I can reach
here,
out to
a bunch
Sandy,
more.
I can do the DPW,
Do you mind?
not at all.
Let's see
Okay,
if he
then I'm
goes.
gonna scratch off my mess.
See, here's
Okay,
the
I'll make a
fence.
note.
I was putting it on my calendar for tomorrow.
Where they drove in
I'll
right
just
there.
send her an email tomorrow.
Thank you.
When you're talking to her,
Huh?
I think it makes sense.
could you, if you remember, and I haven't been out there yet, but last year we had a lot of road washout.
It's still bad.
It's still bad on the steep hill going down to football.
And
To baseball.
The selectmen,
Baseball's bad too.
I had been at a selectmen's meeting where the selectmen indicated that they were to have DPW put proper drainage. They went out and graded it and never did the drainage. And I'm guessing that they're in the minutes to some past meeting last year, but, because that became a hazard for the vehicles going in and out of there, bottoming out. So maybe if they're gonna go out and put some rocks out there, that they could correct the drainage issues on this. There's
But if
no
they don't-
drainage on
If they
either
don't
side.
put, if they don't put rock down or something, then it's just,
You just call officially and you say, this is Park and Rec Department and I need to put on their to-do list. Cause it's been on there before and they did grade,
They
they graded all the
graded,
top.
But as, I believe Naomi had pointed this out at the meeting I was at, both, on either side of the road, they never put any drainage, drainage.
Yeah.
So that the water runs over and then erodes it. And they had asked DPW to go out, at the time, I believe Benji was out with COVID or something. They were supposed to go out and correct the drainage,
Yeah.
so that we wouldn't spend the whole season with
Doing
these
this every
huge
year.
ditches. One
we've got
one
it.
thunderstorm and
Yeah.
the road's gone.
Yeah, it's an every year kind of thing. And,
So while you have her
both
on the phone
driveways.
for the rocks, you could she probably doesn't know, but remind her that the selectmen had directed DPW to fix the road.
They
the
did some of it.
drainage. They just graded it down. They'd never fixed the problem.
they need to add rock is what they really need to do.
well, they need drainage, she's right, because it's both roads down to the playground, on both sides of the playground. And I forgot about it and went with my car last week and almost didn't come out of there.
It is dangerous when it gets
Is that
bad.
okay that you say that to her too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do we wanna talk about the gates? How do people feel about the gates? Do we wanna make a motion? Is this something we're gonna do?
I think that it is something we should do because we have incurred enough vandalism between the baseball,
Playground, baseball and the football.
the football,
The dumpster, the porta potties?
everything, that it's time, like the rest of our, like Innocent and all, the lake, to have a gate.
They're all gated, yeah, Ineson's
Yeah.
gated, the park, Chase Park is gated.
Other towns, I mean, I keep using Warner as an example, but
Mm-hmm.
their whole park is gated, and it's gated at a certain time of the year,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not opened again.
Well, and ours eventually will be the same way with winter, it'll be foot traffic only,
Yeah,
which is
so
what
I-
it is hiking trails.
So I'd like to make a motion that we do the repairs as quoted in MH fence
So,
For
2,000.
Chase Park, not for the skate park.
for
for
Bolton
Bolton
Field.
Park.
Bolton Field.
So I make a
Bolton,
motion for
sorry.
Bolton Field that we spend not to exceed $3,000 with MH fence to repair and install the gates, the entryway gates at Bolton Field.
Second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 And I don't like it, but
What
it's
are-
because of all the damage that's been done.
But what do we take, what line are we taking this out of? Cause that repairs takes our entire budget line for $3,000.
Well, that's what we have to do.
Yep.
All those opposed? Abstained? Okay,
So we're taking out of line 596?
Can we split it?
yes,
Take half out of 596 and half out of 682?
yes. As long as Beth is told, she'll split it up. So we got 15 on,
I will
you
reflect that in
said
the minutes.
682
Yes,
and 15 on
596.
596. Did you get everybody's votes?
Yeah, see, I made the motion, you seconded it. All in favor?
Salem, are you in favor?
I thought I was a non-voter.
Non-voting member?
He's a
Okay,
non-voting member.
Sorry.
That's good. And I'll reflect those two numbers in the minutes so that if Beth looks at the minutes, she can see that.
Okay. Fields ready. I know you guys have been looking at them.
I didn't go today. The last time I went, my socks got wet.
WAC has been writing, when can we play, and lacrosse.
Yeah,
Your socks got wet last time,
on Bolton.
so how often does
And
Stockhouse
I
reach
didn't
out?
go, I haven't gone today or yesterday, but I did drive by Bolton yesterday. The snowbanks are still there.
Oh, to get in the driveway?
Stockhouse, when I talked to him last week, said that they were not gonna be ready for at least another week.
Okay. Are we kinda leaving it where he's gonna reach out to us?
No,
Or-
I'll check back in with
Okay,
him.
okay. All right,
But he said that it's not safe for him to put his equipment on the field. So he's like, if I can't drive,
lawn tractor.
oh, yeah, a mower, not even a lawn tractor, one of those push, self-propelled jobbies, on it without wrecking it, then you can't plan. And he pointed out that, like NEC hasn't even let anybody on their fields yet,
I know, I just went to Sauhegan, I mean, that's further south, and they had everybody on every single field, but that's a lot further south. They also have all their flowers in full bloom, they're not this short,
Yeah.
so they're a lot further ahead of us.
Yeah.
Denise,
Yes.
when you talked to Naomi about the weed whacking around the fence at Bolton Park, the football field at Bolton, there's can he continue mowing beyond the play area? Because it just gets overgrown and it's uncontrollable. So wherever he's safe to mow, we finally got WAC to take all the old equipment out of there, so it should be all mowable. Mowable. You know what I mean?
Did they take out those portable lights?
Generals, that's over by the snack shack.
Are they gonna take those out?
I don't know, they belong to them, they can
Right,
park them.
but are they gonna,
I have
since
no
how they went
idea.
to the
I
LCD
believe-
lights?
I believe
The
they
LED
didn't-
lights,
I
then,
believe they didn't own those, I believe they borrowed those. And that's why they wanted to buy permanent lighting.
But they also might be using them for practices on the other fields.
Yeah, I don't
Not
know.
sure.
You can reach out to General. Jennifer's on the, I don't know. Okay. The broken slide at the bottom too. We got the part, it's in the shed. Does anybody feel confident that we can all meet together and fix it? Do we need to hire a professional?
We can try.
I know that you and your husband can definitely, as far as the
We have
windows goes.
We have the tools.
Yeah, yes.
I think we can.
So
I thought you got the windows done, didn't you?
I did one.
Oh.
I cut all the bolts off and did the one.
Okay.
So no, that's whenever, if you guys are still willing to do the bolt cutting, we gave it an all good try to save them, and it was the same shoe, same boots, we
Yeah,
had the same problem you had, so we did one.
okay. So at the Bolton Field, we need this slide repaired and the finishing up the windows.
Yeah,
Okay.
so the two that were really broken are now replaced. So now it's just the thin flimsy damaged, they're not broken,
Yeah.
they're just,
The ones with the big hole in it is gone.
that's gone. Yeah, we got rid of that one. So do we want to try after tennis court morning? Do we want to head over to Bolton and see what
It's
we can
not
do?
tennis
as-
court morning, it's
skate park morning? Do we want to try to head down to Bolton and see what we can do as a group? Or do you guys want to tackle that your own time, just you guys, and not have, or do you want to get back to
We
me?
can go down.
I'm happy to help with the park, playground. My kids wanna get back out there.
Okay.
As soon as I can, but I've got a 9 o'clock Saturday morning.
Okay,
So I can go out 8 to the skate park and then,
okay.
How long?
Well, and
does
skate
9 o'clock
parks can be
take?
like 5-10 minutes. We're just going to look at it and make a
Couple hours.
decision.
Or we might still be over there working.
So I think, to back up maybe, in the fall, we did sort of a cleanup day. And we put everything away.
We threw away a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
2 trips to the
And
dump.
we talked about doing startup kind of so the walkthrough of the fence is kind of time sensitive at the skate
park,
Yeah.
yeah.
Rather than trying to cram everything in on Saturday.
Okay.
Do we set another date? Do we look at our schedules? Set another date to go down and get, I mean, the sunshades don't go up quickly.
Yeah,
Okay.
they don't.
That's gonna take a while. I mean, I think it probably took us 20 minutes to a half an hour on each
Each way,
shade.
and we have two.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because depending on the temperature,
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah,
get,
we want it to be
yeah.
warmer.
Yeah, well, it is, I mean, this weekend is,
yeah, I'm not saying you
Not the
can't
first
do
thing
it,
in the
it's
morning
just,
on
it's not a
Saturday.
quick thing, nor will the fixing the slide and everything be a quick.
When were you thinking, Denise?
I was just wondering if we do like we did before, everybody looks at their schedules and then we pick a
My
date.
weekends are getting,
Yeah, my weekends are filling up.
yeah, my weekends
So it'd
are
have to be before school was over, because,
Filling
softball tournaments are gonna.
I mean,
start.
I don't mind doing, Bruce is out of town till tomorrow. I have to ask him because if he doesn't mind going back to Bolton, we can do the shades and try to do the slide at the same time. And do the nets at the tennis courts.
right. If he doesn't want to, we can pick a date.
Then I could, if he says, I really.
This Saturday morning, do you think we can get stuff on this Saturday morning if it's warm enough? Or later, like
I guess
Salem
my
said
point
they're
is
available
sorta
after
like-
11, right?
Yeah, should be
I mean,
fine.
I know I have grandkids soccer games baseball games I was hoping to get to.
Yeah, and I've got
I've
stuff
already
too,
got
I hear you.
commitments.
Okay. Why do I have May
I'm in
6th,
Delaware.
Parks and Recs?
We're headed to Delaware.
Are we doing
Good
something May
excuse.
6th?
I'm driving down to Delaware,
All right,
doing 2 games,
so,
next morning and turning around and driving back home.
like, the Sunday of vacation, the 23rd?
I will be gone, so
I have to
no.
be that, yeah.
I'll be,
The end of vacation week?
I'll be driving home.
So
So
for
if
the
we don't
work-
do it this weekend, it's May.
For the work
Yeah.
that needs doing, I mean, how many people are involved? How many?
All of us
minimum?
usually.
We're the ones that show up,
Well, I
nobody
mean,
else
ones to
what
do
I
comes.
it.
mean is like, if my wife went out, if my wife and I went out there Saturday afternoon and brought the kids and they run around the playground, is it work that 2 people can do if it takes a few hours?
The sunshades, usually Denise and her husband do it.
It takes 2 people to do the sunshades with ladders.
Okay.
Because you can do it on the picnic table, but it's
Yeah.
easier to do it.
it's not
with
it's not as safe.
You
Replacing
need certain tools because it's
I've got tools.
turnbuckles.
turnbuckles.
Basically, it's a big turnbuckle. We ended up using a tire iron.
Yeah.
Because you need something with enough
Leverage.
leverage on it to be able to tighten the turnbuckles.
Makes sense.
The windows and the slide are a different
This is
story.
just like hex. last
So
time.
we had,
Yeah,
they're
but they're-
safety,
So,
they're
I think-
safety ones,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
have them, but they've never been taken care of, they're pretty much not removable.
I think
We've been having to grind them off.
Yeah, so the windows are gonna have to all be cut.
I just,
re-drilled.
I'm not gonna last. I'm exhausted.
So we were hoping not to have to.
So if we need
cut
to
them,
get
but
to this other
they're
stuff, we need to
so
get to this other stuff and
corroded with
table this.
sand.
Okay.
The
So-
slide should come really quick. The slide should come right off, and then the new one
And
can
I'm
go
not the
back
only one
on.
who's not gonna last.
So,
We'll figure it out.
we'll
and-
meet at the skate park. If people feel like going over there, there's enough of us and we do it, we do it. If somebody else in the meantime gets a chance, that's fine. Ryan and I showed up and did the tire swing. We didn't say, hey, let's get, sometimes 2 people are just able.
Yep.
And nobody's gonna argue. If you guys show up and you're like, hey, put the sunshades on today. So did we get Salem needs to be messaged the codes? Because the Bolton sunshade, the Bolton where are the sunshades?
In the
Irrigation
irrigation
shed?
shed,
Yeah.
in trash cans.
Yeah.
And the
Okay.
the metal
So
trash
there's
cans
a
need to.
combination code. We have it in, do you have an iPhone?
I got it. I'll send
You
you,
don't have an
I'll
iPhone?
just screenshot and send it to you.
Okay, because it's in our notes, so if you're an iPhone, it shares the iNotes, but so, which is nice, because then it updates it when we change the code, when something happens, like the lock gets cut and the doors get ripped off. So that's where the sunshades are, and that's where the tools are, and that's where the slide is, and that's where the windows are, everything's in there.
I would
But-
say that tackling the windows, you won't get done.
It's a big job, you probably
That's a
feel like
huge
doing
job.
one, and you'd be like, I'm all done, I'm not gonna come back to the playground for a week or 2, because it's a big, it's a big, we did one, and that was it.
Yeah, and he was gonna see if he could take some of them down and have his buddy help him.
Right, right. But at least the sunshades, that's, the windows aren't broken, they're not as strong and they're getting damaged, because people are
Yeah,
throwing rocks at them and
I've
stuff.
had both boys in there pushing on them.
Yeah, yeah, and the ones we've gotten now to replace them are twice as thick,
Okay.
so.
And they're flat, and they're not.
Yeah, we didn't do the bubble anymore.
We didn't do the bubble anymore, because then you don't have them leaning
We have
all of their
one-
weight into the bubble.
We have one good bubble, and that's gonna go on top. So you stand up and you look
Yep.
at that one, there's that one's, so we spent the money on one good bubble, and then we got clear plastic ones that are.
So can we move on to the
Yep.
Chase Park? We have to talk about prices,
I don't have
hours.
anything else for Bolton.
Okay.
Okay. Chase Park.
I think the prices and hours are gonna take up the rest of our
Meeting.
time. And I sent a quote for the decals,
The stickers.
yeah, so if
You sent the
Yep.
quote to what?
park,
Did anybody get it? I didn't see it.
I think you did, wasn't that like 2 months ago?
yeah, it's like
Dear heavens.
It was like,
700 something.
yeah, so they're cheaper through the other one,
You were gonna, so we got your quote and you were gonna call.
and I did.
Did you get, and you got a price?
She hasn't gotten back to me. So I will let me message her again.
Okay.
I could,
You
I didn't,
snooze, you lose. I'm
Yeah.
gonna pay the $700 and go there because we need them. Every season we start without the stickers.
Well, we don't,
Because
but-
she doesn't get it done.
no, she does get it done. Let me just
But we're
message her.
late ordering them,
We are late.
so.
She did read it and she did not get back to me.
Okay.
Hold on,
Well, I'll
I'm messaging her. It
mention-
was 6:25, so I'm messaging her again.
How much was it?
$6.25. It's $75. Okay, I'm going to touch base on the boat ramp. I don't know if everybody saw Salem's email. I've asked Naomi again. We got approved from the state to just put asphalt down. I kind of almost wish we could just put the asphalt down to get something for this year. I'm not against the concrete grant, but that's not gonna happen this year. That's gonna be a year. So I feel like if we could just get the asphalt down, but then are we wasting money with putting down asphalt if the concrete can't go on that or rip it up? So I'm kind of at this point, like, stuck. We were supposed to get the asphalt ramp last year, and it just didn't happen. So I don't know what to do about that yet.
So you're saying that there's a grant came through for concrete?
Salem emailed that there is a state grant that we can apply for. Does not mean we're going to get it. And it's a 75% out of 25%. So if
Well,
our
that all
project is
has to go-
100,000, they'll give you 75,000, but the town has to pay 25%, 25,000. And we have to apply for it, and
Naomi was working on that.
Naomi and Salem had both heard, and Tom Flaherty had both heard from Keith Erf about it. Nobody's
Okay.
working on it.
I thought it was all getting taken care of
No,
before.
no.
Okay.
No, what got taken care of were all the permits for the state to say, yes, you can do that, because it's wetlands and all his heritage, all that stuff. That's been done. We have approval,
So we have a permit now to put the asphalt down.
because it's like material. That's the state has said go.
And I know that, they were supposed to do it last year when the
Yes.
water was low and they didn't.
Correct.
So,
I don't remember why. I think
right,
I think
that's
Benji
fine.
was
So
sick or
what you're
something.
saying is if we don't take advantage right now before they put
Raise the water, which is a
Our
couple
permit is
weeks.
gone.
And wait
No,
to
the
do,
permits, I think it has
3
one more year. I think it's 3
Okay.
years.
and wait, we're risking not getting the grant
Right.
being delayed. blah,
Not
blah,
having
blah.
25,000 to match the grant.
And if, it's my understanding that, because all the time I've been on this commission, we've been talking about this, that it's degrading.
Yes, it's worse. It's just sand down there, and it's worse every year.
Yeah, and the
Yes.
boats are having issues,
And
and
last year we had low water,
Yeah.
it's even much worse.
so I think grants are great, and we don't even know at this point, I mean, I know when I looked in the grant for the pickleball, there's a lot of strings attached to state and federal grants.
We don't have a grant writer, first of all. So, we have till June 1st to apply for this. I don't know how good the grant's for, like, let's say we do win it, maybe it's good for 3 years, so maybe the asphalt ramp will, so, yeah, you can, that was the link. So, I emailed Naomi, she didn't
Do we
answer.
know how much it's gonna cost to put the,
I had a price.
and who is gonna do it?
There's a company in Concord, Phoenix Concrete that sells, they're like chained together. They got the grooves, they're like planks, like speed bumps
Yeah.
for the boat ramp, and you chain them together. my quote is 3 years old, so at this point, I mean, it's a moot point.
Do we know when they're gonna
It's-
put the water up?
They put the boards in, I believe, the beginning of May,
So we don't have much time, or we'll miss the spring again.
because the water typically is almost full the week before we open, which
So
is
we
mid-May.
literally have 2 or 3 weeks to get this
Yes.
done, or we miss it again.
Right. So Naomi's the one that has the authority to tell the DPW to do it. So,
I think it's great to get grant money and all of this other stuff, but I think we're risking, every year we hear about boats having difficulty. If we have damage, you know, due to our negligence.
right, which fortunately, knock on wood, it hasn't happened yet, but yes,
I'm inclined to say, let's get the DPW to get this repaired, and, you know,
because it's literally just the cost of putting down some asphalt. And
Right.
it's approved from the state. We have the wetland permits. We have all the go-ahead because it's like material and that's what's
then-
there
Then we
existing.
could look into the grant.
That's how I feel because they, first of all, the deadline is June 1st, so they're not gonna do any approvals before that.
Right.
Then you have no idea how long. Does it take a month? Does it take 3 months? Is the money okay for the next year? And then again, like it says, the maximum amount awarded, any project, $100,000. Municipality will contribute at least 25% of the total eligible costs submitted for reimbursement, and the rest will be paid 75%. So even if we do get approval, we still have to have 25% of it. So there's 2 or 3 ifs with this, whereas the asphalt ramp is 100% go.
Yeah, I'm inclined to say we go with the asphalt and maybe do some research into this.
I agree.
I don't know how long the asphalt will last, but if we knew what the details of this were, is this a reoccurring grant that happens every year?
Well-
The one I looked at before
Yep. I just heard
is
about this the
reoccurring
beginning of
every
the
year,
year.
and I'd tell you that just the application process takes a year.
This is emergency relief and recovery, so I don't know how long, how often or what. I just heard about this year and I heard about this beginning of the year and then Salem finally got me the information. So, I mean, I can look more into it as far as how often,
So
so.
for the asphalt.
Yes.
I'm more than willing to bring it up Monday, or ahead of Monday, let everybody know I'm gonna bring it up Monday.
Yep.
So, I wanna make sure I have all the facts straight. So, the DPW should already be aware of what needs to be done.
It
from
was
a couple
last,
of years
they
ago.
were last year,
Okay, and well, Benji's gonna be sitting there.
cause they put a little riprap in there to kinda help it along, I think.
Okay, and so the work is just
So
laying some more asphalt, and then you said,
the state of New Hampshire approved us, we needed wetland permits, we needed to be signed off by 2 or 3 commissions, that it's like material.
Getting back
So
to me now.
it is an asphalt ramp, so we are able to put more asphalt on that, so we have all of the go-ahead. And I know the hiccup just hit me in the head again. Bruce Fillmore volunteered to give plans for a fancier ramp, and I believe for some reason the DPW saw that and said, we can't do this. We didn't get approval for that. So that should not be a hiccup, it's just the asphalt.
All we're doing is basically filling in the material and putting asphalt down as far as,
Whatever they need to do for their base. and
however
then
far they can get the asphalt to go down
and
before it starts filling up.
where's the money for that?
It's basically, it's DPW money in road resurfacing.
So I think to kind of summarize it, what I understand is
I don't even think it's.
the
it's not
permits
even
have been
100 feet.
secured. And the
Yes.
permits outline what the work is.
Which is
Nothing-
like
yeah,
material.
like
That's the
material,
exact
and that
wording.
we need the DPW to get in there before the
Water is up.
boards go
Beginning of
in,
May, yep.
to just lay that asphalt down. And then maybe pursue a longer term.
Yeah, so, do you have the permit that you can send me?
Naomi does, it's all in her office. I never had it.
Got it?
I don't think she even,
She should
I don't
be,
think I saw
she
it.
should, at the meeting Monday, she should be well versed in it, because she did all the.
I just wanna make sure
Yeah.
that nobody is surprised on Monday.
I
I
don't
wanna make sure that
think,
I wanna make sure that we can vote on it, or like, make sure that we address it Monday.
and Salem, if you ever want me to come and talk, let me know. I've
I'm
been
not
there 100 times.
Monday is it's not a work session, there's a public comment as well.
So we're always, as far as department head, we're always on
Sure,
the
yeah,
agenda.
yeah.
So, but you can, I'm just saying, if you don't wanna talk, or you can't be there, or you want me to come and answer more questions, let me know. I'll go.
I mean, it may be worth just being there, so I don't stutter through it, because this is very time sensitive.
That's fine. This Monday? So Naomi just has to know that Park is on the department head,
Yep.
so she can put us
I
on
can
the
mention
agenda.
that tomorrow.
Okay. And Salem
Send
can
me-
say it too.
Denise, can you send me the signage wording?
Yeah, I have to tape it up.
Yeah,
I have
so
it
as soon as
handwritten.
you do, can you just text me and let me know
Right.
it's there so I
Chris-
don't miss it?
I don't think I
Chris
have
Kristen's
it
ready to
tomorrow.
go with,
I don't think I have the
Kristen,
application.
who's been at the supervisor at the lake, is
Should
ready
we talk about
to,
prices?
ready to join in on the pricing, so we can get her opinion, because she obviously
Deals with it all the time.
deals with it all the time. So, let's go on to pricing, so we can.
I don't know if I have enough, but I'm just, I printed these out, if you remember. It's just a historical
Hi,
look
you're
at.
joining the meeting. We have Janine in the room, we have Lisa in the room, we have Denise in the room, we have Pam, we have myself, and, we have our board official Salem.
It's fine.
Perfect, thank you.
Yep. So they're the same rates as last year. Right now is what we have. We have the $5 for daily, $10 for the season, $2 for each additional car for
So-
residents.
So, first of all, we have it broken up, yeah, residents and non-residents pay different prices, Salem. So, okay. Sorry, Dave, that's all I wanted to say. We talked about in the past, it had been suggested seniors and veterans, pay the same price as everybody else. How did people?
Kind of start at the top of this, and are we keeping
Yeah, I
it
agree.
the same,
No,
or?
it's fine.
Yeah, maybe
Start at
just
the top.
start.
I have notes, I just have to find them.
So residents, daily and seasons passes, so if we were talking about resident season pass first, can we broach that subject?
Yes?
It's been $10 for as long as I can remember, and I can remember a long time because I used to work there
You know what she's doing?
She's being too loud.
when
Yeah,
I
I
was
can't
in
hear.
high school.
We agree, it's too low.
It's too low.
Sorry, I have.
So can we,
Did you have a suggestion?
$15 to $20
Yeah.
is my suggestion.
I'm with Janine.
I wrote
15.
down $20.
Yeah,
I am
15
more
to
than
20.
willing to pay $20 for a year of being able to go to Chase Park.
Well, summer.
That's what I meant, season.
Yeah.
I think that's,
What do you think, Kristen? $20 for the season pass
Or-
for residents?
But then what will you raise the boats to?
We'll get to that in a minute. We're working through the parking passes first.
We're working through,
I understand, but what I'm asking is, you just need to be cognizant of the fact that then you're going to have to raise boat rates because that makes boat rates the same as cars.
I think when we
Cars the same
get,
as boats.
I think
Yeah, we're
when we
getting
get
there.
there, we have recommendations to,
God, I had all the notes. and I
Increase them.
can't find my notes.
I was thinking if we kept the car rate $5 per car, but make the season pass $20. So,
An
because,
additional car should go up to 5.
yes.
think that's too much to
No, especially since the passes
So,
cost like
the daily
$1 apiece.
rate, if you don't have a season pass, the daily rate stays at $5. If you get a season pass, it's 20 with $5 for each additional car. And I'm wondering if this is an opportunity, because we had seen a lot of the other lakes around us define what a car is. So it's not a van of 20 people. A car is defined as two
Well,
adults.
Right now, you're only looking at seasons passes, Denise, because that $5 for an additional car is to get a sticker on a
Let's
second
go,
vehicle.
yeah, let's go down.
Correct.
Yeah, oh, okay, so you're moving down?
I
to
was
the other
just,
one?
under parking, there's 3 items. $5 per car daily.
Yep.
$10 for season,
Yep.
$2 each. my suggestion is keep the $5 per car.
Yep.
Yep.
I agree.
$20 for the season.
Yep.
And 5 for each additional
Yes.
car. But then we define what a car is. 2 adults, 2 children, 2 adults, 3 children. Do you know what I'm saying?
So we've
that-
never
No.
done the people counting, because then we just have people walking around outside and walking in later, or people
Hiding underneath the back and towel.
just on the
Or, yeah,
automobile.
we're just counting the car, if a school, but we can say, I mean.
But Denise
Most-
is right, if somebody's coming in with a minivan full of, with one of those conversion vans full of 15 people,
But
that's
if it's,
different.
if it's a season pass and an additional car, you don't change those. They get the sticker no matter who's in it.
I'm talking about the $5 per car.
Oh, just the day
You get a
pass?
small bus that comes in with a, or you get a swimming instructor with a van with 20 kids in it.
So you're talking about the day pass?
Is it just an opportunity to say, car is defined
Up to
as
4 people.
2 adults,
Yeah, 2 kids.
I'd say up to 6.
all right, up to 6 individuals.
Up to 6 people.
Up to
And it
6
doesn't
people.
matter age or anything, kids or
So,
adults, up to
wait
6
a minute,
people.
I'm sorry.
So only the daily.
I need, hold on, I need clarification. $5 for a daily,
Up to 6 people.
hold on, for a daily resident, because this is all
Yes.
residents.
Yes.
And then, so with residents, we're still up to 6 people.
Yeah. Now, what is it over 6 people?
Then they, well,
We have
That's
to
the
have,
thing,
we have
when
to
you-
have,
That's when
now
you
we have to have
never-
a second price.
Yeah,
And we've never done that, and I would just stay away from it. I mean, Kristen, how many buses do you get coming in there?
That are the town. She gets the daycares.
We don't get town buses. What we get are,
daycare
there's
buses.
St. Mary's School in Manchester or daycare, whatever it is, and they pay the non-resident rates. And then we get like Boys and Girls Club, and they pay $20.
Because they have 2 cars?
No, they bring a
Because
bus.
they're a bus, like a full-size bus.
So we just,
So we do count it as 2 cars.
okay. So that's something that's something that Chase Park already does. When a vehicle is a big capacity, you count it as 2 cars?
It only happens with a bus situation. Like, what you're saying when you say this is that Dave and I, if we were townsfolk who didn't work there, that our van would be charged extra to come in.
Is it an 8-passenger van?
We had a
We
12-passenger
had a
van,
12-passenger.
and 8 kids and 2 adults.
What does Boys and Girls Club come with?
A bus.
So,
They come with a school bus and it might have 15 kids.
But they're non-residents, so,
No, Boys and Girls Club's residents.
oh, they're residents.
The residents are there, but they're an organization that's charging for that field trip.
what about, you're saying that's like a full yellow school bus?
Yeah, they rent
So, I
the
mean, what
school
about per parking spot?
Well,
drop
they
off in
actually
the
end up taking 3 spots, which is why we've always felt comfortable charging them $20. They haven't been there more than twice in the last year. And before that, the 2 years prior, because of COVID, they weren't taking trips, so they didn't come at all.
Kristen, do they get a pass? Is it $20 for the season, or is it for the day?
No, it's the day.
Oh, that's fine. If that's what you guys are already doing, and that's the only exception we've ever had, I
so
think.
the reason I
that's fine.
brought up defining a car
Yep.
is because we sat here last year and we debated
Mm-hmm.
people coming in, not gonna mention any names,
Mm-hmm.
with vans full of kids to do their swimming lessons, charging a fee, and they're paying $5.
So that person that we're not naming does private lessons, and so they don't ever have a car with,
They have a season's pass.
That's not what we debated here.
She's not going to be excluded by that because she's bringing in 1 extra adult and 2 children. So her car would meet the criteria of 2 adults and 2 children.
That's fine. We just sat here and talked about a car full of
Well,
kids, and
I-
I just don't want, if we're not gonna define a car, then I wanna debate it this year when something happens.
okay.
but I agree with you, Denise. I think that that conversation, if I'm remembering it correctly and I didn't take notes, was actually non-residents who are coming in with large quantities. So they're coming in, and this has happened before. This is why we raised rates, this was one of the many reasons we raised rates, was they were coming in, they're dropping a bunch of cars at the end of Reservoir, where Cinders used to be, and coming in with a load, and then going back and getting more people and coming in with another load on their one-day pass. And that was where we were going, okay, we should probably be charging per person on a non-resident. But the other conversation, they're not bringing in as many people at the same time.
So we have to get a vote.
I don't want we're asking the staff enough. I don't think asking them to count people, that you're just opening a can of worms that I don't think we should go down.
Kristen, do you feel it's a big problem of people abusing how many people are in the car?
So that's not an issue that we have. We're still talking residents though, right? Like, our non-residents are some of the most respectful people. There are those few who aren't, but we've taken care of them appropriately, right? Because they're breaking the rules. But most of our residents are coming in as families, and sometimes, right, if you have young moms, they're coming in minivans together in groups so that their little kids can go and swim, and then they leave after lunchtime and they go home, right? I wouldn't want to dissuade families from carpooling.
Right, okay.
I think, though, that the problems we were having prior to the the rate increase was different. Right now, we've got those families coming back. But if we're going to change if we're going to go ahead and lower prices for out of town, that's where I have my concern.
Okay.
All right, well, we'll get to the non-resident.
So do we want to define a car, or are we fine
No.
with it?
No.
Okay, all right. So Denise reserves the right to,
No, I'm fine with it, I just don't wanna have any debate about it over the course of the year.
okay, so we're not allowed to talk about it again until next
That's
year? Got it, agreed. Okay, so we have suggestions. Does anybody do we want to vote on each one, or do we want to vote at the end when we've hashed it out as a worksheet?
I think we vote on it as we go, otherwise it's gonna be.
Okay,
We'll just
so
let's
resident
do each
parking.
section.
All right, resident parking, so I make a motion to suggest to the Board of Selectmen that the resident parking per season, per car, is $20 for the season and $5 per additional car.
So the daily rate, Kristen, stays the same at $20 for the season, for the first
Dave, I
season.
can hear, thank you.
Okay.
So I need a second.
Thank you so
I'll
much.
second it.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. So we will make that, this will also be on Monday. I'll make the recommendations at the Board of Selectmen. They have to approve everything. All right, boat ramp, resident boat ramp. Now, it would be at the same price as a car.
What do you
So,
recommend on the boat ramp, Kristen?
I don't know, 25, 30.
Denise, let Janine do her thing.
So I mean, $25, $30, second, let's see.
I recommend at least 30.
I do too.
Okay.
At least 30.
Car included only with, all right. Okay, I like
Can-
30.
Can you clarify for me, because I couldn't tell on this
Yeah.
document, it says $20 per jet ski boat, daily / season. If I am a resident and come in one time only, I pay the $20.
Yep,
It's
Do
the
I
same,
also get a season?
yes.
But if I come back another day?
So you have to pay for it.
for
next.
There isn't
residents,
a daily, you have to get a season
It shouldn't
pass.
say daily on there.
Okay, so I think we should take daily.
so they only get a season whether
They're
they use it.
They're purchasing a season's pass, and
Yeah.
so I recommend we go to $30.
Sounds fine to me, cross off daily. Absolutely. And then that's the only number we have to worry about. So I make a motion to recommend to the Board of Selectmen that the resident season pass for boat ramp is $30.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Seniors. I had written in my notes, $5 for a car pass, $5 for an additional car pass, and $5 for a boat pass. Wow, that's still really cheap. One boat pass for $5. Additional was 20.
So,
So
I
this
really
is a
think we
senior discount.
I think that we need to keep the senior discount, the one car free.
Do we, One
And
car free?
One car free, increase the additional car at the same residence to the $5.
I agree.
I don't know about boats being discounted.
I don't think we discounted boats.
Right here, we had a free boat pass for
Yeah, and
seniors.
what we have is we have some people that are coming in, and Kristen can attest to this, where they're
Multiple
like,
boats.
multiple boats.
I feel like if you're buying a boat, you can
can
pay
pay
for
the
the boat
pass.
ramp pass.
I agree.
I feel that maybe seniors should be car only, boats have to be regular. Boats just absolve with a resident. Denise,
Or if I'm hearing what you just said correctly, we're seeing seniors come in with multiple,
boats.
so, but this says they get the first one free. Multiple, but any additional is $20. I would recommend it going to 30.
I don't think we should, I think that should be each one. I don't think they should get any free one, because,
On the boats.
yeah, they're parking other people's boats is the issue.
Yeah,
There's
so-
been some issues with
Oh, I'm
the
a
whole boat
senior,
thing.
I'll take your boat. Get it, cause they're paying one pass,
And then
and they're
they're
putting it
arguing.
at their house for the year.
Yeah.
You know, so,
And veterans didn't get a free boat pass, so
they didn't.
it was just the seniors that get it. I think they should have to pay for their boat.
Okay.
So, we still like senior cars being free?
Yes.
$5 for additional car.
Yes.
Should boat be a special price, or should it just be 30 like everybody else?
30, so
30
it's
like
not an
everybody
issue.
else.
So do we eliminate it where there's not even a senior boat, or
No senior boat.
it should just be crossed off and they have to apply to a resident boat?
Yes.
Either that, or are you gonna make it like the veterans, $15 for the first one?
No.
Kristen?
Wow, this is gonna make a lot of people angry.
How do you feel? I want to hear your opinion. You're the frontline worker that has to calm everybody down.
I think we should charge them the sticker rate, which is to say, cover your costs for the stickers, because we're probably averaging 100 senior boats a season.
Okay,
I-
so,
I really feel like this, the senior car being free and $30 for whatever boat they want to put in is really fair.
We could keep the additional boat at 20. Give them a little break there.
On the second boat, I don't think people need a second boat break.
All right.
I'm sorry, I just don't. It just, we're complicating
do
it.
that many people have two boats that they're putting
They
in?
don't really.
They
It's
take
what
their
they
friends'
do is they
boats.
take their,
That's so that,
and it's,
so
yeah.
by not having the additional, it alleviates that problem.
We don't need an additional. One boat is enough.
So,
And I don't think we need to even
All right,
have
so
the
no-
additional boat.
okay,
Just
so-
$30 a boat, senior or not.
Kristen has to tell these people.
She-
Kristen, will you still work for
All
us
she
if we have to
does
tell these
is say,
people?
go see the board of selectmen.
That's correct.
We'll all be there.
So what is Christian's opinion on the senior boats?
It's
Kristen?
a really tough one.
She hears you.
I think it should be $5 to cover the sticker for senior boats. Our senior boaters, there's some really nice folks there. And I think of my one sweet little man who's 95 years old this summer, as long as he survived the winter. And now I'm gonna tell him it's $30.
Yeah, but it's only $30 once.
So,
I see him twice a season because he parks at his house, right? And last year he said, I don't know if I'll be able to make it down there, sweetie, because it's harder for me to walk. And now I'm gonna be like, it's $30, and he's gonna say, I guess I have to go home and get money. Like, I don't know. This is huge.
I had $5.
so where, are we running a business which produces revenue for the town? Or are we worried about people's feelings? Because at some point you have to
Both.
say, well, no, because then you say then let everybody in for free. I mean, you have to be able to say, I run a business because we have repairs that we need to have done. We have, buildings that need repair, we need picnic tables.
We sell more senior boats than resident boats.
So what if we were to keep the one free boat pass and leave the senior additionals at 20? Leave it as it is and just
I think we have too
increase-
many different prices.
We've had too many different prices for years, and we've already eliminated,
But is there a difference? There's no difference, so, Kristen, are you talking about, is this a non-resident or a resident?
this is resident seniors.
Residency.
Once you're a non-resident, it doesn't matter how old you are or if you served in the war,
I
you're a
think if you
non-resident.
own a boat, and we're talking about some pretty expensive boats, it's okay to pay the $30. I don't know, I'm sorry.
Kristen, if we made you have to put a price on senior boats
can't
and we
afford a
said
boat,
we
so.
won't get you for free, you would charge them $5 for a sticker?
Just to cover the sticker, yep.
Or you go to the veteran rate of 15.
All right, without making a motion, we can just vote hands. Who wants to charge a boat $30 for a senior like everybody else? Okay. Oh, crap. Salem gets to vote on this one because this is not binding.
Yeah, no.
Who wants to charge seniors nothing? Kristen? You can vote, Kristen.
No, she can't.
No,
This is
she
just,
did
we're just
her
doing a
in the
feeling
thingy.
vote. This is not a,
I don't get to vote.
well, it's just, yes, if you were in
You
the.
need your opinion. Your opinion
I'm
matters the
polling
most.
I'm polling the
because
public.
You're the one that
All
has to
right.
deal with all these people, so I would.
No, we have to deal with these people, and the selectmen have to deal with these people. And when if they don't like it, then they're gonna come back to us, and they're gonna come back to the selectmen.
Yeah, but she gets first.
She
and
does, but
it's-
she also has to enforce the rules. No smoking, no alcohol, no drugs.
All right,
no-
who
she already
says,
does
who likes $5? Okay, so the $30, well, Salem,
I was kinda in the 15 boat.
you were the 15
I mean,
vote? Like a happy medium?
Cause then you make seniors, veterans the same,
And then you eliminate a whole.
We haven't
price
even
of it.
gotten to veterans
Yeah,
yet.
but he's just looking at it.
Yeah.
I can accept.
15?
15 for seniors, to say you get a free car pass, and if you wanna launch a boat, it's $15. It's half the price of
I
what a
could
regular
go,
person.
I could go 15. Pam, Lisa, kind of a
I
compromise?
can do 15.
It's fine. I just think that if you can afford a boat, you can afford $30 pass.
I'm willing to compromise at 15.
and I guess the other end of that, I mean, is it people coming down there with a rowboat?
Yeah, I think her sweet guy is a
Right.
rowboat, but there's a lot that are not.
Right, but
If
like
they-
what's the, is
You
it
put-
60/40, is
You
it
put
90/10?
your trailer on the ramp, whether it's a kayak or a canoe or a yacht, you pay for the ramp.
And-
You're
and-
paying to use the ramp.
And it's a one-time for the whole season
Yeah.
fee. It's not like the car every time.
Kayaks have the choice to walk it over the shore and pay nothing. It's if they choose to.
So,
It is, because what I'm looking ahead, when I say 15, what I'm looking ahead to is, it would be great if we could get this grant rolling towards next year. But how are we gonna pay for that?
We have to
Well,
have 20,
great, there's
yeah.
a revolving fund that's been approved. Start putting money in it
Mm-hmm.
with the eye to, well, we're gonna immediately pull money out of it.
You hear that? When your seniors cry over the $15, say, we're looking to buy a new boat ramp.
just to move this along, I'm gonna make a motion.
Additional, we have to do additional, is additional going to be a stay at 20? How do people
I
feel
think
about?
additional stays
Why
at
don't, if we're
30.
all gonna argue about boats and seniors, then why don't we do a $10 discount, make it $20, and they just pay the regular price for us an additional boat, $30.
I say 15 for the first, 30 for each additional.
30 for additional.
That's what I agree.
Okay. Got half what you wanted. All right, so
I'm
you want to
gonna-
make a
I'm gonna
motion?
make a motion that for the seniors, they get one free car pass. Each additional vehicle is gonna be $5.
And that should only be allowed one additional vehicle. Only one additional car.
Limit one?
Yep.
Is that the same with the other one or just seniors? Because I take 3 cars to the
I
beach.
limit one yeah, but you're a family. Like, we're talking about seniors.
No, I don't
Okay,
think you
okay.
can.
Yeah, but we do $5 for additional car on regular people, whether you have 20 cars or 30 cars.
Let me make the
So I
motion
think it's
and then we
another thing
can
you gotta
debate
ask
the
the
motion.
kids
Okay,
that
Okay, sorry.
Go look in the book, see if they have 2.
I'm gonna make the motion and then we can debate the motion.
Okay.
I make a motion for seniors that we set a rate at one free car pass per senior, each additional car pass at $5. The $15 fee for a boat pass, each additional boat pass would be at a $30 rate.
Any discussion? that what you wanna do now? Any
Now we can
discussion?
discuss
Okay.
that, yes.
Do we want to limit it to one additional car for seniors? Do we wanna
No.
limit one?
No, because I
No.
think if we're not gonna
Okay.
be for other
All right.
people, then
Okay, I second the motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
I,
Aye.
Aye.
So that was everybody, so there's no opposing, okay, okay. Veterans,
I
Same
move that
deal,
we do the
seniors.
same as the seniors. 1 free, 5, 15, and 30.
okay, so we've changed the boat to 30. So I'll make a motion that veterans are first car free, additional car $5, $15 for the first boat, and $30 for an additional boat. Anybody second?
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, so
You
that's,
good with that, Kristen?
Well, she doesn't get to vote, so
she's crying.
she's crying.
No, she's not crying, but, okay. Now, do we discuss that we had talked about surrounding towns? We had talked about the towns that touch Weare.
I think at this
No.
point, we should,
It's too much?
yes, we should continue
Okay.
treating them as non-residents. They wanna come in, they're gonna pay the non-resident fee.
Do we leave non-resident at 40, or do we drop it down to 30?
We drop it down. So I passed this grid out.
Yep.
And before I left for Florida, I'd asked Beth to give me the stats. I mean, we are, and this came up when I met with the selectmen last year, when I did the presentation for the,
Yeah, you mentioned, you went over this before.
the selectmen asked me what we're gonna do to address our falling volumes. And
Not have an overcrowding problem, yes! Sorry.
Right, but the reality here is, and Salem just, address this, we now have a reoccurring fund. We have pent-up needs, whether it's the boat ramp in the future. We know we're facing in 5 to 6 years a $200,000 tennis court replacement. We've got constant playground equipment, whatever. We have to start to look at why, in 2017, we sold 715 non-resident cars, and 130 non-resident boats. This was before COVID. And now, if you
103.
look, we're only selling 35 and 22. And the same thing with our residents in Weare. Why are we down, we were at 2,000, why are we down to 705?
So resident prices haven't changed. So the fact that resident senior passes are going down has nothing to do with price.
Right, but we also have to address why is there a constant,
I'll tell you why resident passes are going down, because we're catching the liars.
Yeah.
People would lie about living here, renting here. Oh, I'm a season, I'm at the Lakeshore Village. I get a season,
Right.
those were sliding under the radar. And Kristen and her employees have clamped down on it. We're not taking but I assure you, I pay taxes, or I assure you, or I'm telling you, so we've clamped down on, I'm a resident, and we're not letting it slide anymore. So that's why residents are down, and there's no doubt non-residents are down because we compete now with Clough State Park.
in our pricing?
Yes, our pricing.
Yeah.
Our pricing
Yeah.
competes with Clough State
Right.
Park.
So I bring that up only because I think as we look at the pricing, a resident's gonna pay $5 per car.
Yep. Well, residents
Well,
are
they're
gonna pay
not, they're gonna pay
20
their season pass.
for the 20.
Well,
So I'm fine with
there's
it
some-
going down to 30 and being more reasonable. We have now gotten the message out, we're not the cheapest place in town.
And we've gotten the message
I
out
think
that it's
30 is-
cleaner.
And there's rules, and we're gonna abide by the rules.
I think 30 is still too much.
I-
30 per day.
I think that there's
Not a
some
pass.
They go to Clough State
negotiating
Park.
to be done here, though. Because if they wanna park a car for 30, that's got, a regular car that
An
anybody
SUV,
might have, a
family of
minivan,
five.
an SUV, that might seat 8, and there's 8 people in it, that's one thing.
Nobody has 8-seater cars. zip
But
code.
if we're going to have an older couple, like the poor people from New Boston that like to come over and really just can't afford $40 a day, but it's just the two of them, that's where we should make those changes and,
My-
and make it a little less
My
expensive.
recommendation for the non-residents is that we increased the seasonal pass for residents and the boat ramps by $10. We should decrease the non-resident by $10.
I thought 30 was fine. Denise thinks it's still too
Well,
high.
I'm just looking at what, I just went, I've got Clough and Greenfield here.
Yep. So if you do 2 adults, 8,
And there,
12
I
dollars.
wrote down parking, $5 per car, $10 per car seasonal, 20 for jet ski.
That's us. Clough State Park is $4 per adult and $2 per child. They do it per person. You can buy a season pass.
And if we wanna do per person, we could do per person
Kinda thinking
for
that-
non-residents.
Well, because, yeah, I think I know it's two different things, daily, like season passes versus daily, but it's kind of a bad look to say we're increasing all the resident rates, some of them doubling, and then lowering non-resident.
But we could, but,
But if you switch it
and,
to
but
per
Denise,
person,
yeah, if we do the per person
Just
thing, cause
out of
Denise has
town.
a point,
Out of
we
town,
wanna
yeah.
have more money coming in. What was happening before is, I think it was $10 a car, and we were having $10 cover 8 people coming in, and they were trashing the place.
I'm fine with $5 a person, no matter their age, just across the board.
Yeah,
Do we have a baby cutoff, or is it doesn't matter?
no, just across the board, a baby comes in, a baby is
$5.
there, $5.
We're
Doesn't
still
matter.
gonna use the trash can.
They still create trash.
Yes, they
Yeah.
is
do.
there a system now, like wristbands or anything, or is it just honor system?
There's not
They
wristbands,
get
but we
a
have a
park-
ticket.
They get a parking ticket in their window, and we have the other
Yeah,
half of
like
the
a business
receipt.
card.
Parking ticket in
The
the window,
license
we're
plate.
gonna have to put how many, we're gonna have to put the.
Which is what we've been
Is
doing.
Kristen still there? Did she hang up?
Kristen, you still with us?
No, I think she hung up.
I'm still here,
Oh, hi.
still here.
So you're hearing, we're just discussing the
So two
the
people
little
coming in
pass
would
that
be-
you put in the window that had how many people were there, how many kids, how many adults in each car. Because remember, the reason we started with that was because people were dropping off a bunch and going out and picking up more and bringing them in. So we're discussing, instead of doing a non-resident
Car.
parking pass, it's really per person.
$5 a person, no matter if they're a baby or they're a senior. It's $5 per person.
I think that you'll find that a couple.
You're
we talked
encouraging-
about that, an older couple, it would cost them $10 to come versus 40. A family of 4, it's gonna cost them 40, but there's 4 of them. And I mean,
It'll be 20 bucks.
Twenty, I
Family
mean,
for 12.
right, but at least then we're starting to make,
It's a
then we
little
can
more fair.
reevaluate it to see, have we seen the volume?
I
go
like
up
it
at all?
because we're still just a few
Right.
dollars over Clough, because Clough is so much bigger and it's state-run.
Hello?
That they have more system. I love the $5 per person.
Yeah, I agree.
and I think you'd have to say, like, no reentry. Don't worry.
Oh,
like-
yeah, no
We don't-
reentry.
we
Once you
don't-
leave, you're done.
We don't allow the
Right,
reentry.
and just make
Yes.
that clear. You
Yep.
go to lunch, you come back, you're paying again.
All right,
Yeah.
so $5 per person, no reentry.
Did you hear that, or do you want me to call you on the house phone?
I can hear it just fine.
What's
Make a
your
motion?
opinion?
Oh, do we want
What
to,
about boat? the
we'll
boat?
do one line at a time. Kristen, do you want to, what'd she say?
That's a significant decrease.
But we're trying to get more people to come. We can see how it goes too. The other thing is, if it looks like by the end of July, everything has gone back to what it was in 2017 when things were really bad with non-residents.
It's encouraging
So-
small groups
We
to
had,
come versus huge parties.
we had 35 non-resident cars all season last year.
35 was the quantity.
Yep. Down from 121 the year before.
And it was $40 both years.
Yeah.
We haven't changed it since
Correct.
2020.
But, so, yes, it's a significant decrease, but if we increase our volume, because $5 per person seems more reasonable.
And we can, Kristen, we can change it next year if we felt that we had every non-resident in the world overcrowding our parking lots. Because that was one of my main concerns, was
And
the overcrowding.
And we want to be able to let that older couple from New Boston, they still haunt me, right? Because they really wanted to come in. They'd always been able to come in, and all of a sudden it's $40 for them to come in for the day.
So I think we try it. Doesn't mean we can't come back and look at it and change it, but I think we have to start encouraging non-residents to come back. Many, many days we have a half-empty parking lot or more than half-empty parking lot.
Yeah, Kristen said there were probably 6 days last year where it was capacity. Is that right, Kristen?
Correct.
Yeah. So I think we should do I think we should do the $5 a day per resident, out of town
But
resident.
you remember what the
5%.
town voted like 4 years ago when they wanted it to switch to resident only. And so now what you're saying is we're gonna charge our resident.
But we're not really, because your family of 4 coming in non-resident are now gonna come in, 4 times in a summer.
We're still
and
more.
pay $20 a time, and your family of your non-resident, your resident family is gonna pay $20 for the entire summer.
It's still cheaper to go to Clough State Park for a day than we are. A family of 4, 2 adults, 2 kids, would
So-
be $12
So keep in mind.
at Clough State Park, and we're gonna be 20.
And again, let's go back and look at the numbers. Last year, 263.
I'm fine with it, we can vote.
Bought season passes.
I make a motion for $5 per person for parking access
person per day.
non-residents.
Non-residents,
No
no
entry.
re-entry.
No reentry.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. This is this is gonna get our numbers up. Vote. Leave it $50.
I'm either leave at $50
Yep.
or, because they're coming in,
That I would
they're still using
Not
the
saying
entire
that.
park.
Yep.
They're still using the bathrooms, they're still parking their car, and sometimes there's
And a
40
trailer.
We
people.
really only have one group of non-resident boats, and those are the people that are paying over $1,000 to stay on the lake for a week in a cottage.
They're paying over
Yeah.
$3,000.
Well,
to
there's the
stay.
cheap cottage for grand.
And there isn't
Maybe it was a
anymore.
night, maybe it's $1,000. So I think $50 is unchanged.
But I do think that
Yeah,
we,
but are we gonna charge them $50 for just the boat, or are we charging them $50 plus the 5?
No, we only charge
No,
them
we
for the
never
boat.
added anybody doesn't pay car and boat, it's just one price.
but I do think it would be helpful as the season progresses, maybe at each monthly meeting to get some volume numbers. Because we wait 3 or 4 months after,
Kristen turns the tickets in. How often do you turn the tickets in,
Weekly.
Kristen?
Twice weekly.
Correct.
Twice weekly,
I-
so it's Beth putting them into the system
I
for
would
us.
like to see a standing item on the agenda for Chase Park of what our volumes were. When we come to each month's meeting, what were the prior month's volumes?
Okay.
Because again, even when you look at boats, significant number decrease in boats. Yet did it feel like on the lake there was a decrease in boats? So how are they getting their boats on the lake or what's happening? So, I mean, I
But they're
just
putting
think,
them in other places.
Which they can, there's personal boat ramps, we can't control that.
right. But if
so we want.
but if the price changes don't improve our volumes, then we have to start, and maybe it's doing a
It's gonna
community-
take time though, Denise, because people right now are pushed
Advertising.
away.
But maybe even at some point, it's a community survey, and today with the internet, it's easy to do. Why are our residents not coming back?
But I think they are.
I think,
And if we were,
No, they're
Kristen was
not.
keeping track of like, there's but
I think these
there
numbers
that was
were
a drop
padded.
between, yeah.
I think the numbers were padded because people were considering themselves residents and they weren't residents.
It's one thing if you want to say, all right, back in 2017 or whatever, but the
So,
graph speaks for itself.
2019 to 2020, what happened was we got pushed out with COVID. We were only 50% occupancy.
Right, but draw a line at 2020, and you're still got a significant decrease. And that's all I'm saying, I'm not asking us to solve the problem tonight.
But we also don't even know if we were keeping proper records. That we've gotten better at that in the
Okay,
last couple of
so
years.
that's why I think it would be helpful.
Yeah.
Because even in this past year, where we're keeping better records, we've cracked down on whatever, we saw a significant decrease again in volumes.
prices were still $10 every.
We went from
Yeah, it's not-
1,200 to 700,
It's
so.
probably the troublemakers that didn't like the fact that we called the police when people drank alcohol and vaped and abandoned their children.
I think we've beaten
I'm
the,
so confused how we ever sold above 1,000 when we buy 1,000 rolls,
No,
Yeah.
we never sold above 1,000.
2,000 from
600
our stickers are 1 through 1,000.
616 are the most season passes for a resident car that we've ever sold in one year.
so I think we have the recommendations for the prices to take to the Board of Selectmen next week.
Okay.
I think we need to hold off on discussing the hours because it's 9 o'clock and we're all,
I think I have, so, yes and no. It's good to just say it all. Do they have to approve the hours too, or do they just approve the money?
I think we just told them what we were gonna be open.
Yeah.
Are we changing it
I don't think we need to
significantly
change
from
it.
last year?
Where are they? I don't think we need to change it. It's just we have to.
Kristen had some input there, though.
Oh, and we're not done. We have something important we still have to talk about. Kristen, did you have I'm gonna wrap it up really quick. Did you have concerns for changes of hours over last year?
She did. She was looking to open earlier in the morning.
Kristen?
I was looking to open it earlier and stay open later.
So right now, we have 9 AM to 8 PM during the summer.
But wasn't that only on the weekend?
So I have
Yeah.
yes, you're right. You're right. It was only on the weekends, and then weekdays were 10 to 7. You want it 9
I
to,
don't think you've even factored that into why we get fewer people.
that's true. Do you want 9 to 8, no matter what day of the week it is?
Yes.
Okay.
Did
Especially
we
if we're
hire enough for
charging
that?
people more, it's hard to justify charging them more, offering them less, and saying that we're okay with it.
Okay. And we did. She would get there at 10 to unlock the gates, and she would have a line of 5 or 6 cars in the driveway waiting to come in. Okay, so 9 to 8, no matter what day of the week. And then in the fall, we revisit it again, and we clamp the hours because the sun's setting earlier and school's going back to session, which is what I have. So if I go with, I didn't give you guys all this last year. I mean, today. I only had one copy. So we issued the hours from opening weekend, Memorial Day. We're weekends only till school gets out, then we're 7 days a week. We're gonna be 9 to 8. The end of August, when school's starting, we revisit, we look at how much have we paid in payroll? How much do we have left? How many people? How are the tickets going, hours? And we shorten it an hour here and an hour there because it's
Slows down.
boats coming out, is basically what's happening. People fishing and boats coming out in the fall. People aren't swimming as much. So, so everybody good with that?
Yes.
Okay. All right, last,
Are we done with Chase Park?
let me look at my list. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys.
I wanted to throw out there that I would like, as a selfish resident who, my wife and I are gonna take the kids down there all the time, and now we're, yes, we do wanna get numbers up and whatnot, but if we find that these per person, non-resident dollars we've set are just flooding it all the time, I
We're
think,
definitely-
I don't think we should revisit it next year.
We
No, we
can,
would-
we can
So
make
I
a
just-
change mid-season, it
No,
sucks,
I
but
just
we
wanna
can.
say that,
Yeah.
like,
No, we
That's the
all
reason
agree, that's
why-
why we're,
That's the sole reason why I joined here, was because I went one 4th of July and I couldn't park in the park, and you could just see the out of town.
well, and it wasn't, yeah, and it's not just that, the quality,
was.
all of the, for me, it was all the families who wanted to be there with kids, you couldn't go there with kids anymore, because it was cigarettes
Right.
and alcohol.
So
and
yes,
everything.
we can revisit it anytime we want. It sucks, but we can do it. We have the authority to bring it to the Board of Selectmen, and they can say yea or nay. They don't like to do it mid-season, but they're reasonable. Chris, Chris, before Kristen hangs up, sorry, I'll go to Denise. We need to set a date for when you wanna get to the lake to do repairs, Kristen, on that log with the spikes and the concrete and stuff.
I thought we were doing that the weekend before.
That's do you want that orientation when the kids are there? The water will be up. It'll be hard to get the log out. Is that too late? The stairs will be
I
covered.
think it's too late.
So,
Also, where are we at with the boat ramp?
Denise.
Your
and
husband
Salem-
will fill you in.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that with them very soon. We're gonna hopefully make progress. I think Saturday, May 6th? Is that what I had, Chase Park, is that what I had? What about Saturday, May 6th?
I was actually hoping to get there over school vacation week.
Okay, I can help you, Lisa's out of town.
I'm available Thursday the 4th on school vacation week.
Okay.
Thursday, the 4th is not, it's not,
May 4th.
that's not, school vacation week's April. It ends April 30th.
I know, then I can't do it.
I can help if you get, if you
A
get
Saturday or a
someone.
Sunday? What can you do, Kristen?
Talk about filling in the step, right?
Yep.
And getting that log out of the water with the spikes in it? And maybe fixing the stairs?
The log out of the water, you really need, when DPW's there fixing the thing, they just need to walk over with their backhoe and hook onto it and drag it out of there.
Just need to tie it to a truck. I cleared my whole property. Trees way bigger than that damn log with a stake.
Alright.
What do you wanna
The
do?
more you ask of DPW right now, they're severely understaffed.
Drive his tractor down.
Huh?
So we could ask Bruce if he drive his tractor down.
Come on down to the lake.
Oh, yeah.
Particularly with people that can offer.
Saturday,
You have
the,
that pretty tractor.
Saturday the 22nd, is that good for you? Kristen?
Are we talking April?
Yes.
Yes.
Vacation week.
We get back from DC late the night before, so
Do you want the 29th?
What about the 23rd?
What about Sunday, the
Want
third,
Sunday?
23rd?
sure.
All right, I have plans Sunday at 2 o'clock in Nashua, so I can do it in the morning, but I'd have to leave at like 1. I have to be in Nashua at 2.
I'm gonna be out of town that
The
weekend.
29th,
Yep.
can we do the 29th?
Sure.
Because Denise will be here, I won't have plans.
Can't do the 29th.
Could you do the weekend before?
Do the weekend before. I'm having a procedure on the 27th. And
Doesn't matter to me, I just. I'm
All right, the 23rd, early in the morning. You get me till 1 o'clock.
And I won't be there.
You can't be there any of them.
I could if it was in May, but I
But
can't.
we can't wait till May, they raise the water up and we're
That's
waiting too long. You're getting off the hook from a work day. You should
Sorry.
party.
Just to.
All right,
go
the
back to your,
23rd.
The out-of-town volume going.
8 a.m.?
And I think that's,
Tell,
when this gets
Okay.
presented to the selectmen, that they know we don't want overcrowding.
Yep, yep.
But we do want, I think, a lake that has a close to capacity that's really what you're striving for.
And it's gonna take a
So-
season or two for them to
so-
realize the prices have changed and.
Can y'all clarify this last point on the, pricing? You know, you say you wanna be near capacity, but then it says visitors shall be denied entry.
That's not, that's,
I printed this from 2020. That does not exist
that
doesn't
anymore.
exist.
That does not
Making sure
exist.
that-
That was my come with something to the meeting 5 minutes before I finished my pizza. So that does not exist.
that was
I have
COVID
a,
thing.
I have a new one. So, here,
that's when the governor
pass that down
ordered.
to Salem.
And I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, the donation of Chase Park to the town of Weare states within that document that we cannot prohibit. It was meant for all people to use, not just the
The
residents.
public was
It says
defined.
public, and it says
But it doesn't
public.
define public.
I tried to get public defined as the public aware, and they said,
Yeah.
we'll run it by the lawyers, which meant we won't hear about it
Yeah,
again.
so that's, yeah,
mean, we
because
had-
it wasn't
We're
defined.
walking a fine line, yeah.
Yeah.
And my point just is we have to be careful.
Yeah.
All right, April 23rd, 8 a.m. Anybody that can be at Chase Park will be at Chase Park with some cutting tools to cut brush and shrubbery back and pull stuff out. Okay, that's all I got. Car stickers, what did she say?
She's getting back to me tomorrow. She said she was so sorry. She knew she should have done it and she hadn't done
Okay,
it.
can we just approve $700? So it's $625 to her, $700 to you, and what we just, if we
Yeah.
approve
They
the
have to be the
700
sticky back ones. So yeah,
If we approve
I'm
the,
gonna try for zero.
if we approve $700 now here, they can be ordered.
Yeah.
Okay,
What
by
was-
whether it's you or
What
you.
was the quote?
She got 625.
Okay, but what was my quote?
700, you said. So I thought somebody
I
said
don't,
700.
I don't remember what the quote is, and I can't get the email.
And I think yours were like the ones of the dump
They were
passes,
exactly like the.
which is what Kristen doesn't want because they peel off too easy. So we want
Those
the
are the,
sticky back.
they're not sticky, those are shrink, like,
No, they were the sticky ones.
the old dump stickers?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's the same kind of deal for the ones that I'm getting, the same stickers.
Because the transfer station stickers were not ordered from the state, they were ordered from Amazon.
Pam, Chase Park decals, on February 14th,
Yeah.
you sent a quote, $765. So if we say $800, we want her price.
Yeah.
But if we can't get it or something happens,
Yeah.
we've said $800, we
we
can
can
move on and they can be ordered without having to meet again.
I make a motion that we allocate $800 for the purchase of stickers at Chase Park.
I'll second that motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
With the understanding that we're going to try and get the lower,
It's up to 800, yeah.
We're gonna spend up to $800.
Yes.
Yep.
All those in favor?
I,
Aye.
Aye, and we're taking it out of line 611,
Is it
Chase
supply?
Park Supplies.
Yes. Account 611.
We got our picnic tables and walkie-talkies
We
and
have,
all that
we
stuff.
did get one picnic table and we did get
walkie-talkies are in the
walkie-talkies.
mailroom.
They're in the mailroom?
They're on top of the mailboxes, there's a box for parking.
Kristen, did you hear that?
And she's gone. She's
Somebody
gone.
text her, cause she's,
It's gonna take me 2 hours to listen, to do the minutes. this
I'm
time.
almost done. Almost done. I
think
just
so.
have,
Put us on like
year.
fast.
Who else, somebody else should volunteer this year.
You should get paid for it.
I tried and it never happened. You can get paid for it. There's
Yeah,
a
but
stipend for
I
it.
think you can't be a
It's
voting
small.
member.
I can't get paid because I'm on the committee,
I didn't think that was the deal.
but I'll step off
Are you,
the
is he,
committee.
you want him to bring them home?
No,
No, I'm just showing.
that's a
All right,
no-go.
Walkie-talkies in the mailroom. Okay, one more thing. All right, one more thing. I'm gonna buzz through everything really quick. So, we already talked about, okay, everybody's good with Chase Park, whether they are or not. Oh, one more application.
Yep, so we have to go into non-public.
Okay, we'll wait for the end. So the other fields, you're gonna talk to Stockhouse and visit the fields, Inison and Purington, all right? Additional business, we set the dates for tennis court, slide repair, field, we're not gonna do that. If anybody ever wants to write an article for Where in the World, a little park blurb, go ahead, she'd love it. We got an email, okay,
Should
so,
try, I say this and then I get tied up. You should try to get her an article on all the openings.
I know. I wanted to get an article to her all the time, I barely get an agenda. So, I reached out to Beth, we talked about internet at Chase Park, she said there was a big hiccup at Granite State because the people that were authorized to make changes no longer were here at all whatsoever, so they're changing that. She had lists at 30 years old. They are hoping to get Granite State internet at the lake by opening day. Woohoo! Yay! Because we're hoping one day eventually to get a square and charge versus having to
right
do
now we can
cash
only
and
use
check
cash.
only.
It's not,
Well,
Joe-
maybe if we get
Keep
it
it
though,
short.
we should do,
Not another day. Joy Leroy taught, Joe Leroy lives in town, he talked about making picnic tables. I asked him for prices. He says, I make picnic tables with galvanized boats, ceramic deck screws, pressure-treated legs, 8 feet. He charges $350, because it's for park, he'd do $325. If we ordered 5, he'd do $300 each. I'm not saying do it now, I'm just saying I think that's cheaper than the kit. How much do we spend on those kits, and we have to assemble them? And I don't even know if they're pressure-treated. But with the revolving account, or we get further later on, the lake, Kristen said we had 4 picnic tables we couldn't reuse. We bought 1. So, I don't remember how much we paid at
One second, I
Amazon for
just
that
had it
picnic
written down.
table.
$626, that's
For one picnic table with shipping? Probably right. So, this is half the price, assembled, and he said he'd deliver. So, we don't need to vote tonight unless people are passionately wanting to vote tonight. Have we spent enough money?
I think it's too early, I think we have to look at what we're gonna be spending.
Okay.
Yeah,
yeah.
we spend a lot. of
But I
money
really
tonight,
was excited about supporting local delivery,
yeah, yeah,
all
yeah.
that. Okay,
for sure.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting, closed meeting,
Can I give a 10-second update?
absolutely.
So the board gave final approval for all the candidates that were raised up to us.
Oh, okay, that's right, that
We
was,
did that Monday. They all have their packets. I asked every single one of them, has your schedule changed at all?
okay.
And all of them said no. And I asked them to please let Park know if anything changes.
Okay, awesome,
all.
that's good. Did it go good?
Yep, yep.
Okay, good.
There were no questions or concerns about
No,
any of the,
Nope.
so, that's good.
I said it was extremely smooth compared to other years.
That's nice. Well, they've been doing it a little
did
while
they
now.
talk
so-
to each person?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep, and we had the
All the new hires,
applications.
none of the rehires,
Yes,
yeah.
and we had their applications ahead of time, we had
Yeah,
them scheduled
Naomi
out.
asked for all
Yeah.
that, they'd never had that
So-
before. Yeah, last year I was kinda like telling them the names at the time of the interview, and I only happened to be there because my daughter needed a ride. And, so, yeah, it was much more sorted and organized. It takes us a year or two to get all the kinks worked out.
So,
And were there 3 radios?
make a motion to go into non-public
No, I thought,
using RSA 91-A :C, sorry, :3C.
you made a motion, I'll second it. All those in favor?
And
Aye.
we're not coming back from non-public.
This will be adjournment.
Yeah, we're adjourning and going to non-public.
All right,
At
non,
9:15.
9:15. Non-public.